better. And then I'm like, oh, I got another tattoo. You know, like, oh, I still hate talking to you. Like, you still.
Shit, are you rolling?
What's up?
This is the intro.
Oh, can they hear me though?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but they can't see me though.
No.
Oh, dang. Wish you guys could have seen it. It was awesome.
Not yet. Oh, am I on?
You're on.
Oh, shit. Welcome back to the Graybeard Podcast, everybody. Tonight, I'm just going to tell you, I had planned on having Marshall Malone on this evening. And I will say this. Marshall Malone, he's got shit going on, but he is also the best employee that I never had. Okay? This dude, not only, he said, hey, man, I can't make it tonight. It's got something's going on, but I found a replacement. He replaced himself. But I'm excited because I've always wanted to sit down and talk to a comedian, a real-life comedian. And tonight we have a real-life comedian. You know, I always fancy myself like a podcast comedian, but I'm not really that funny. Therein lies the problem. Thank you, Pat. That helps.
These sound effects are amazing.
And I will fucking butcher your last name.
That's okay. It looks scary. It's not, though.
Yeah. I wrote it like a billion times. I'm going to forget it. But I remember Vanessa. So everybody say hello to Vanessa.
Scaduto.
Scaduto.
What it do? What it do, all? Yeah, no, it's an easy way to remember is Scaduto, and then somehow the ska kicks in.
Well, I'm old, and my brain doesn't work like it used to. Not that it ever worked very good anyways. I smoked a lot of weed when I was younger, so...
Ew.
We all did, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know, what is it, that Dr. Huberman guy? He's like, you have to.
I don't know.
He's a neurologist.
Andrew Huberman.
Or Andrew Huberman.
He
thank
knows.
you.
He's
yeah,
up
so
with the-
yeah, he probably watches Joe
Yeah.
Rogan.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
Yeah, so do I. Anyway, so so yeah, he talks about like if you, as we get older, if you continue to basically do things you don't want to do, it keeps those receptors going. So anytime I want to bow out and just say I'm an old broad, I don't want to have to use capacity to like think about something. I force myself to do it eventually.
Yeah. No, I don't know if it's are you into horoscopes and stuff?
We can get into that if you want.
Well,
but
the only reason I ask is because I'm not, but apparently I'm like a reluctant horoscoper. You know, everybody always, you're such a fucking Capricorn. So I guess it's like the Capricorn in me.
Oh, okay.
That if I don't want to do something, I don't fucking do it.
Yeah, I have a couple friends who are Capricorns. They're like that, but
we're obstinate as fuck.
But you know, like that's the thing. Like I'm sure there's some validity to it, maybe, but it's also psychology, right? So like, are we telling people they're this and then they're like acknowledging? Because honestly, if you go to almost every astrological sign, you may find something you're like, oh, I do that.
Clicks,
I do that. It's like, yeah, but like, do you wipe a few times, then use wipes, then go in the shower even after that? Like, you know, there's specific things we have. It's
just kind of
sorry.
Jump in the shower.
I shit the shower, really. No,
and just waffle stomp that bitch down the drain.
There you go. Damn, dude. Damn. Hopefully it doesn't clog up your stuff, dude.
No, we got big pipes.
But yeah, no, I have a lot of weird beliefs. That's why I was like, if you want to go down that rabbit hole, I don't know if we're there yet. We just started.
We can open up any can of worms.
I watched your podcast episode. He sent. I don't know how many you have. So for those that don't know, well, I already let you know that she is a. Are you full-time comedian? Or?
No. So we have friends who do tour and they're always on the road.
But you also have a podcast.
Yes. So our podcast Los Rotos, it's been on postponement though the last couple of years, but we're going to start it again.
Thank God.
Yeah. So and thank God also when I saw the text from Marshall, because I was about to start my own. I was going to call it a play off of it. Like it's going to be like Los Rotos on la calle, which means like Los Rotos on the street or whatever. So, but
were you going to take it on the road? I mean, like on the street?
I was just going to film all the other comics. Yeah. That's part of the reason earlier, you guys, you don't know, but I told them I was practicing using a gimbal. So that's why I got the gimbal, is so I could have like certain shots, like walkthroughs, maybe through the venues, like kind of have a feel of like what we're doing.
You got is that a Droid or an iPhone?
It's an iPhone.
Okay.
Did it go off?
No.
Oh.
The reason I asked is the newer iPhones
yes.
have like the stabilization in it.
Yes, my daughter got one, of course.
So you don't really, with
Right.
action mode, I mean, a gimbal is good, but you don't need it.
This is a 13 Pro though,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't have the same.
13.
Yeah, I'm on a 13, dude.
Where are we now? I mean, like
15?
I think they're on 16. I thought. I don't know.
I just got the newest one.
See, you should know then.
But I haven't had. I had a 12 before that one. I don't know. 15, I think it was.
what are they on? Like 25?
What the hell? I have Google at my fingertips.
Yeah, I don't see, and I don't care as much anymore because I'm like the phone's working just fine for me.
Yeah.
And it's my daughter who's still young. She's 22, so she's like, "Mom,
Oh, 16.
don't get mad." I'm like, "You live on your own. Why would I get mad? Like, I'm not. You're not paying my bills. I'm worried. I'm just worried how you're gonna pay yours."
How
like,
old
but
is your daughter?
She's 22.
22?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a 21-year-old that still lives at home.
Yeah. Well, my daughter moved out because I temporarily let her boyfriend move in with us, and he didn't like living with me.
No? Too many rules?
Yes.
Hmm.
Like
Don't come home at midnight.
no. They worked late.
Clean up after yourself?
Yes, clean up after yourself.
That is the one thing
That's the only thing.
20-somethings are like,
Well, it was like they would work late, so I get it. They'd come home, cook dinner at like 11:30, 12 at night,
just leave a mess.
and then leave. And I'd wake up in the morning and my stove's dirty and there's dishes in my sink. And yeah, exactly. And the thing is, it's like, and I didn't charge them much, because they're young kids. So I'm trying to I'm kind of like being a barrier for them so that they can make mistakes,
Right.
kind of learn. Because I didn't have that, but it's also a different time, like
100%.
it was definitely a different time. But
we weren't allowed. We were not. I don't know, if we left a mess, we would definitely get our asses beat.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you grew up in a house like
Oh
that.
no, yeah, 100.
Okay.
My mom's Latin, so
Okay.
I'm surprised.
That makes you Latin.
yeah, no,
Chocolate.
it does. And I'm also Sicilian. That's where the last name comes from, the Scaduto. Yes.
I was it was a little.
It looks
curious.
foreign. It looks foreign to people from the South, but up north.
Us here in the
it's-
South, we
up
don't
north,
recognize that.
Exactly.
We
Up
ain't got enough
north
teeth to
in
pronounce
New York
that.
City, the Guidos, they know exactly where I come from.
Hey, Scaduto.
They're like, "Do you know what part of the island? Do you know?" And I'm like, when have you been to Italy last? Like, get out of here.
got
You've been here for 50
Yeah, I
years.
was like, "You're freaking jabroni, dude. Get the fuck out of here." Yes, I was like, "What's jabronis?"
That's fucking hilarious.
A bunch of jabronis. I really do miss the 80s New York, but it's coming back, I hear. So
Is it?
Yeah, all the robbing
All the immigrants.
Cocaine.
Yeah.
Well, the immigrants.
Oh,
That's
sorry.
always been part of New York. I mean, that's been since the 1920s, I don't know when they created it. I mean, they're immigrants.
So they're bringing back polyester, heaps of cocaine, and
Yeah.
really bad dancing.
Sometimes I think we were better off though.
They seem to be happy.
Because now we have I think the problem is we didn't just accept the old drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and so then they had to come up with new ones, and now we're finding the new ones. It's like
Yeah, but those are pharmaceutical.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we had just stuck with the traditional cocaine, all that stuff that is possible to come back from, and
Is it traditional? I mean, I don't ever remember.
It's a traditional.
if you're thinking about the lifespan of that era in the
No,
U.S.,
well,
I'm just
that's
saying,
a
I don't
traditional
remember
drug.
going to a family
Heroin-
function and being like, "Hey, we got you a line
No,
ready,
but
Jim."
if you think of the 1800s, they had opium dens. I'm saying,
true story.
societal wise, we've always had.
See, I was trying to make a joke in front
Oh,
of the
I'm
comedian, and I fucking
Take some ayahuasca.
ate shit just now.
Have you guys taken ayahuasca?
I want to.
No.
I have.
Just
I
the
did it in July.
just the shrooms.
All right, hold on. Where do you go to do this?
Well, I went to the Orlando place, which they recently got shut down now because a couple people.
Because they were doing it safe.
Because they were having spiritual
Well, they were
experiences.
actually. They were. I went there and it was great. I mean, but the people who don't like them in the community, so they used
The
to.
Bible Belt.
They used to. They're in Orlando technically, so they used to live on or the property was on a big piece of land with empty properties, and then they started building around it. And I think what they're trying to do is get them out of there because they own so much land there, and
Yeah.
but it's really beautiful. I mean, honestly, those people really believe what they're doing
Yeah.
because it's a church, and I guess people were trying to say they couldn't claim them as a church. So now there's another place in Georgia that's doing it that they told us, because if you do there, you're a member of the church. If you do ayahuasca there,
I don't want to do that.
It's a ceremony.
As long as I don't have to fuck or get fucked by anybody.
No. I would say to you though,
No, that's the leader. They always fuck your wives.
I would do it in a ceremonial space. Like, it is not something to. It's not like shrooms. It's not like something you can take
totally.
it in a park and just be like, all right, we're gonna.
Do
chill.
they blow like the tobacco smoke?
Oh
in your
yeah,
face
yeah,
and shit?
yeah. The
wow.
arape, yeah. So you can take it if you want or not. Like they give you small doses at first too, just to see how you react to it, especially if it's your first time.
Microdose into the cosmos.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it was pretty intense for some people though.
Yeah.
But all Aya, they call Aya the spirit of the drug, or excuse me, medicine. They call it.
Yeah, don't fuck up. You're gonna fuck
you
it up
church
for those.
member.
They call it. They say that she's only going to show you what you need to know. And like, I saw all this stuff, but I'm in therapy, right? So like, I just go, okay, like, I guess I'm just like filtering it through another filter than all these other people who are not in therapy, who are struggling still, some of them with addiction, like they're using it to repair. So like, when I'm listening to conversations of their experiences afterwards, I'm like, oh, I didn't have like a super epiphany. I saw a bunch of cool stuff, but like, I didn't have this.
I got gypped, man.
Well, I didn't think it was gypped because she kept telling me the spirit or whatever was just telling me like, you don't need to be here.
You're straight, man. You're good.
Yeah, you're not as troubled as some of these people.
Or you just have like a really fucked up tolerance.
That is also very true.
Nah, she's
So
like, "You're
the
too
next
fucked up."
time you do it in a few ceremonies, so the next time I took more.
Yeah.
And they call it purging, where you have some kind of, so I had a couple moments, and one of them, the only one that was probably more profound, is that my cat had recently died. Yeah, it was horrible.
Sorry to hear
And
that.
but I saw him like in a field, and so like that was like
Aw.
a sign that he's fine. And then also like the message, like I can't explain it because like I'm just filtering it through all the shit I saw, like what I think I'm supposed to get from these visions.
Right.
And so like one of them was like, you're a good mom. You did what you did the best you could have, because I was a young mom.
That's the best message you could ever get.
Right. And so it was more, and it was her saying like, you need to give yourself
some grace.
Yeah, some grace, and like also some credit that you did that and you did it on your own, and like your kid is amazing. And but then I saw also like a spirit in the tree, which was kind of cool.
What kind of spirit?
That's the thing I've been trying to figure out what it was. Because at first, when you take mushies, like, you're going to see stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I have this awareness. I've always been good too. If I saw something hallucinating, I'm able to compartmentalize that in the moment and go, I'm just tripping. That's not real.
Right.
Where other people, I've seen them like
Freak the
freak
fuck
out
out.
and not realize, oh, I'm having a moment right now. Like, they really go somewhere else. So anyway, so I'm sitting there in the ceremonial space, and we're outside under these trees.
Oh,
and,
nice.
like, it's beautiful. And they're burning like Palo Santo and like sage, and like, it's huge. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, when you walk into that space, even before the ceremony, like, it feels different. There's also no sound in there. It's kind of frightening because, when there's no sound in the woods with animals, you're like, something's happening.
Yeah.
Like, but when they start the ceremony, the animals come into the space, which is weird as hell. Like, because you watch them start to fly in
They're all like, hey,
as the sun's going
they're getting ready to
down.
start again. Come on, guys, let's go fuck
let's
with
go.
them.
Well, I
go
think
on.
what happens is that space, when it's not active, is like a neutral space. It's like a dead zone.
You think
Because
so?
yes, because they've created that through the ceremonies that they've done over and over, through the energy
That
they're
particular
doing.
space?
Just that space.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because it also happens.
I thought this was like, does the tree make noise if
No.
one's
So
around to hear it?
So they introduce us to that space before they do the ceremony, right? It's all quiet. And one girl took us on a tour. It was just me, her, and one other person. And I told her, I was like, oh, like I said out loud, I was like, oh, this is different, because it was quiet then. And then I saw that particular tree, and I was like, I was like, I don't know why I'm interested in this one tree. There's a circle of trees. And then something told me to sit by that tree during the ceremony. So I have my palette behind that tree, and I'm the type of person who can do stuff by themselves, so I don't need to be like in the group. So I kind of went out, and everybody's starting to trip or whatever, and I am, but they all have their eyes closed, and I'm like, that's a waste, you know. Like I was like, I want to see this with my eyes.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, it's different when you like. I know with mushrooms, like I'll try to like meditate almost, you know, like I just kind of like just let it take me, but I always close my. She thinks I'm sleeping, and I'm like wide awake. I just close my eyes because I feel like I see more with my eyes closed. But and I like to go internal. You know, I like to think, like I start thinking about all the shit that's bothering me. Everything comes forward,
right?
That's fucked up, and I have to deal with it. And but yeah, I feel like it would be a whole different thing if you were like physically seeing things with your eyeballs.
Yes. So I saw this thing that looked like pine needles at first. I thought it was part of the tree. Like I thought it was a pine needle. But then I look closer and I'm like, that's not the same color as a tree, and it's kind of off. So if you think of that like a fuzzy creature, like with these like things, it was, I would say, brownish or greenish in color. It like almost camouflaged into the bark a little bit of the tree. And I was looking at it and I was like, and all I saw was these like eyes, but they were just light, like a light. So I was like trying to see if I could see a shape of it, because maybe it's an animal, right? Maybe it's something. Then I was like, maybe I'm just hallucinating. So I went to look at the other trees, because usually in a hallucination, if it is pareidolia or something, you can see it resembled in the next thing, right?
Right.
I did not. I did not see anything.
So when you looked back,
so
was
when
it
I
still
looked
there?
back, I guess I should tell you guys, I'm in a mentorship too with mystical stuff. So I just
good.
don't tell people all the time, because it's weird, because it's
Let's crack
crazy.
that open.
But anyway, so my mentor, she teaches us, if you do think something's there, acknowledge it.
Oh.
Because most people will say, don't acknowledge it. They're gonna. But we don't live in fear. So like
Right.
we don't live in fear of whatever exists that we can't see or understand. But so I was like, all right, so that's a fear I have to get over, is just saying, all right, I'll engage with you, right? So I said, I see you, like that, and I smiled at it, and then it smiled, and then I saw it move back towards like in the tree, like almost camouflage, like, and then I was like,
That's
okay.
fucking creepy.
It was
Holy
creepy,
shit.
right? So then I was like, I have to be hallucinating, right? Like, so I looked again to the other trees to see if there's something. And then I went to look back, and I couldn't see him again. Well, I say him. I don't know what
it.
Yeah, it. And
Don't misgender.
I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to call it he. So
Shame.
I know.
Canceled.
I have a joke about that too, actually. So basically, I look again, because I'm like, oh, I don't see him now. So maybe it was a hallucination, right? And I'm still looking at a tree, and then out of nowhere, I realized, oh no, it moved up. It's just on another branch.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I still see you, and it did a little smirk again, and then moved again back in. And then I was like, all right,
You saw the fucking Cheshire cat.
yeah, but I didn't know if it was like an elemental, or what I found out later is sometimes, specifically in ayahuasca, like if you go to like the Brazilian tribes and do it, they call in spirits in the trees to observe. And sometimes the trees also transmute the negative energy that are coming off of these people taking the stuff. So
That's very interesting.
it could be anything.
Yeah, I'm very interested in checking that out for sure. It's I don't know. I don't know if it's something you should. Well, you said they ease you into it, so.
Well, you have to learn how to protect yourself first, right? So like the basics.
You mean what happens if you just go balls deep?
You may get something attached to you, or you may
Lose your mind?
Well, you may think you're losing your mind, but it's not, because especially if you have a skeptical belief, and what happens too with those people sometimes is if they give an inkling to maybe, that opens a door, right? It really does open a door,
Right.
even if it's an inkling. So when the spirit or whatever it is, I say spirit because it's not always a spirit. It could be any entity or whatever. If they see that door open, even a glimmer of it, they want acknowledgement. So sometimes it's better to acknowledge. I think people fear they're going to be evil, or they're not going to be able to fight off whatever it is, but it's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's just not true. Like, we have, from my understanding, we have a team. Each one of us has like a spirit team behind us that is always protecting us, always looking out for us, but they can only help us as much as we help them. So like, if you need help, you have to ask for it. Like,
Right.
they can only interfere so much, but if you ask them to interfere, they will. So, because you have a plan.
The spirit team, these are people, or these are
It could be
your entity,
any
your
entities.
your entities. Like, this is my posse.
So I didn't know we were going to get into this.
Let's go.
I know it's not very funny. It sounds
fucking
crazy.
ghost
We'll get into the funny shit later.
I was like, I just want to but we're not on hallucinogens. Okay, we're not.
Disclaimer.
Just a disclaimer. So technically, we have four guides that I think it's 4 guides. My mentor, if she ever sees this, she'll be pissed if I forget. But we have 4 consistent guides with us throughout our whole life. We have a primary guide. We have a philosopher kind of guy that goes and does research and shit for us. We have a native guide, and that's more of an indigenous spirit. It was more than likely human. And because they're indigenous people are more grounded to the earth and to the spirit realm, they know how to maneuver and walk through dimensions. Oh. So they can actually protect you from almost anything, like because they're aware, or they'll know like the ceremony to get rid of. So like a lot of places when people are like, oh, I bought a new house, but like weird stuff's happening and that land used to be farmland or whatever, but they don't realize it was possibly sacred land or it was possibly something there before.
Yeah, every inch of this land.
Right. So sometimes also it's not just their house. It could be a neighbor's experience. They just don't talk to each other because a lot of people don't want to express like some weird stuff's happening in my house or happening to me or I'm dreaming this stuff. But anyway, so I also found out something crazy though, but it was hard for me to kind of like digest is supposedly we have an alien spirit guide.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So
the Anunnaki.
Well, it could be supposedly there's over 450 species of aliens.
Probably more.
That we're aware of or that's part of some galactic federation. I'm rolling my eyes because I do believe when these people tell these things, like I've spoken to these people that
they really believe it.
They do believe it. And the thing is I've experienced some weird stuff with alien stuff, but it's just really hard to go a federation. So I asked the person too, I was like, does it look like Star Wars?
Do they get like uniforms and
no, they're just
comms units.
So basically, the Confederation. This is so crazy. We're talking about this. The Confederation is. I'm
a nerd. Okay.
No. It's crazy that I'm talking about it on camera. I talk to the comics all the time about. They know. I'm
well,
crazy.
you don't have to say anything you don't want to say. But
no,
I don't
care anymore. Like
I'm
really.
going to foster this kind of behavior.
Yeah. So supposedly the Federation. All right, they are a conglomerate of aliens that get together when universes or galaxies are having issues and they kind of see if they can help each other. And right now, we're a hot topic.
Yeah.
We are a hot topic because we have been an experiment for years.
I believe that.
Thousands upon thousands, maybe millions. Who
We're
knows?
throwing thermonuclear bombs at each other. Yeah, we're a fucking problem.
Here's
what the fuck's happening on that ant pile over there?
Yeah, but here's the thing. That could have also been an alien warfare on our land. Like if you think of Gobekli Tepe and there's other like
there's already been
said
signs
it right
of
this time.
I know. And if you think about the
there's places in Iran where
I'm thinking of Shiva, the gods, the Magbagati. I'm saying it wrong, but anyway, they talk about the gods fighting and using weapons of this. Supposedly that was an actual alien fight. That was an actual fight,
right?
And it's the same people though who are still trying to interact, but now they do it subversively.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that are unexplained. That like, what is that? What is that fucking place? Where they it's like a inverted, like they dug into the mountain and everything is basically there's like a castle but it's all
in Turkey.
Is it in Turkey?
Yeah.
But it was basically cut out, like carved into the mountain. They didn't use pieces and make blocks.
Right, and they don't know how they did it. Yeah.
And it's so intricate. Right. And it's so amazing. Like, dude, that looks like a laser etched.
Right.
Just the pyramids alone.
Yeah,
with all the dimensions and links.
I think the pyramids are where they land and refuel.
Yeah, supposedly they're charging stations.
Yeah,
no, because they used to be crowned with like a material,
and
then the internal too.
It's weird because there's like all these chambers that go up,
and they had chemicals in the chambers.
I mean, have you guys heard of the Alaskan pyramid? Yeah. I mean, hey, let's go, baby. Let's.
Do you listen to Billy Carson?
Do you believe the Earth is flat?
I don't think so. No, I don't. I don't. No.
Okay, good. Okay.
I don't believe it. It's flat.
It's sad that we have to ask that.
I don't. I had to ask.
I still believe in science, guys. Like, there's some truth to it. Yeah, there's some truth to it. Right?
I was waiting for you to
I don't believe in propaganda. That's the difference.
I was waiting. You were talking about the ice pyramid, and I was like, here we go. Let's talk about the wall. the barrier around the Earth, so because it's flat. I ran into my very first flat earther a while ago. God bless his heart. He's a great guy. He's very religious.
What?
Yeah, and
He's in a cult.
he's religious, but he believes the Earth is flat. And I'm like, dude, you're such a smart person.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Right,
like, dude, how?
Not everything can be completely like there
A
would have to be
conspiracy.
so many people in on this, specifically captains who go on boats, who use navigation,
Pilots.
Yeah,
Well,
pilots.
I
They literally have a
They're all in on
compass that is a globe. Just like
I had actually heard that it was a goof from somebody in like the 70s or something. I don't remember when the flat Earth theory started.
Yeah, they put like
Pull
a
that
whole,
shit up, Pat.
They put like a whole map out. I
I
think.
bet you it's like that guy with when he initially started saying the pigeons have cameras, they're
Right.
watching. It's similar
But
to
it's
that.
yeah,
and then
somebody.
he had to carry
it's
out
like somebody made a Reddit post or something,
Right.
and everybody just went with it. You know,
I feel like that guy, he initially was just trolling people, and then he had to continue with
he was like the world's first troll.
Yeah, because everybody was like really on. I was like, this guy can't be serious. This has to be a troll. Like, I don't know. I've never looked into flat Earth because it was so ridiculous
It
to
is
me
very
that
ridiculous.
I just never even gave
But
it
you
a
can
second
get
thought.
if you go on like YouTube, there's videos that if you watch them, they're very convincing.
Oh, I've
Like,
kind of seen them. Casually,
I don't want
but-
to watch them because I'm too stupid,
Oh, Sarah.
and I might go, "It is flat." I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't.
I
make
always
any,
laugh at them because to me, I always can find an explanation for some of the things they talk about. So
yeah. When I good jobs. My dogs are going ape shit. I'm not sure why. Sorry.
okay.
When I ask someone, when someone tells me they're a flat earther, I'm like, the next question is, oh, you don't believe in satellites either,
Right.
do you? You don't believe satellites are real. And then they're like, no, I believe in satellites. That's how we have well, how the fuck do you think they stay in orbit?
Right,
Orbit
right.
is around.
Right. Wouldn't they go in a square?
I mean, maybe.
What would they do? I don't know. If, like
Square
how
peg
flat
in a
is-
round hole.
How flat is the Earth? Like, what is the dimensions?
Right, and
I don't know. I keep thinking
That's
about like
the question. And then you're like, so is it turtles all the way down? What are we doing here?
Right.
I don't know if you've heard that. That's like a old like Indian thing. They thought that the Earth was resting upon this
a big
great turtle,
Yeah.
which is where the saying "turtles all the way down," which I don't know where you would even insert that into a conversation.
It started with rapper B.O.B. in 1970s.
Rapper, rapper in the 70s.
Rapper B.O.B.
Took to Twitter.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe I read that wrong.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
did
It says right here,
you
back in the
did a quick-
1970s, 80s, a man named Charles Kenneth Johnson became a minority celebrity for his refusal to believe the Earth is round.
Uh-huh.
70s,
So that's
80s.
where.
So he started it, and then
Yeah.
everybody just
And then
jumped
all
on the fucking
all the
bandwagon.
retards, yeah.
Close all those fucking pop-ups.
Yeah, there we go.
So much for having that VPN or whatever. It's supposed to block all that shit.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah, but
But yeah. Anyway, I believe
there's
in
like
weird shit.
there's like Alex Jones conspiracy, and then there's TikTok conspiracy.
But see, here's the
You know
thing
what I
too
mean?
about Alex Jones. I have a love hate for Alex Jones. Like I do feel for that man in a lot of ways, just because I watched him spiral. Like you
yeah.
know, like.
Yeah.
But I do think initially he had like good intentions to like
Yeah.
help people.
He went off the fucking deep end.
Yeah, he went off the deep end. Obviously, he said a couple of things that got him in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, that Sandy Hook thing really
Right,
kind of
right.
helped
That
him.
really, but he wasn't technically wrong with some of the stuff he said. It's just his delivery. He doesn't know how to be very specific.
There's no
and-
gracefulness with
right,
that guy.
exactly.
Turning the frogs gay.
Right, exactly. But he's not kind of wrong. He was talking about hormones being put
Yeah,
into this,
to
which was
atrazine,
happening.
or
right?
atrazine.
And it was a study that does exist, but it's like because he has no one moderating him on his
Yeah.
podcast. Like when he went on Joe Rogan, I think it was great what Joe did because he's like,
Yeah,
slow
yeah.
the fuck
Oh,
down.
yeah.
You can't,
just say
this
that.
shit. Half these people don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
You know, like
They're
so-
fucking sucking the bloods
Yeah.
out of babies
So-
and shit, and
Yeah, don't be so dramatic and like I feel like Alex Jones was Latin in his past life. You know what I
think so.
mean? Like yeah, because just so dramatic.
It's like somebody's uncle's just
Yeah.
sitting on a porch talking about, I know it. I
yeah,
know it.
I know. Yeah, exactly. But I do think initially, I'm sure there's also possible, allegedly, substance use that probably also caused.
Oh yeah,
My
he's
thing
a big
is-
drinker.
My thing
Yeah,
is
but
this.
I heard something else too. You know, he
If-
takes to the skis sometimes, the slopes sometimes.
And this is
you know?
something I actually wanted to talk to you about as a comedian, about censorship. And I think that like censorship is fucking out of control right now. It's getting crazy. I had my first YouTube video pulled
Oh, really?
because we were talking about. Well,
That's why I'm hesitant to say certain words.
I
like,
shan't
this is-
grace.
COV.
There you don't even spell it. It's
Yeah.
the dreaded C word. And I'm not talking about cunt. But yeah, we were just talking about that, and my guest and I were talking about videos that we saw of like actual professionals, people that knew what the fuck they were
Yeah, right,
talking
right.
about, but they have these, maybe these crazy theories or whatever. And boy, 10 seconds after we ended the live, I got a notification from YouTube, and they were like, "It's under review. We're going to hold it until then." And then maybe another 5 minutes late, I sent an appeal, which you can only put in like 45 characters.
Right.
What the fuck
Yeah,
are you going
they
to say in
don't-
45 characters?
They're trying-
Twitter even gives you what, 120 now? But and as soon as I sent my little stupid rebuttal, they were like, gone. But fooled you, YouTube. I put it shit right back up. Of course I edited it. But
Well, the thing is, though, I've watched some of these YouTubers when they talk about some of their videos getting taken down. If they're not a big channel, they don't have an actual human, because a lot of them are assigned.
Yeah,
I guess
it's AI.
eventually you get so big, they assign you an account manager
Right,
at YouTube
right.
that you can actually have
Correspond with.
Right, if something like that comes up.
it said though that it was moderated by AI,
Right, and that's what's happening.
A person. So it went to the AI first,
And
and then
then-
the AI went, "Mommy, he said something,"
Yeah.
But my point is with the censorship, like
Right.
let Alex cook, let
Yeah.
him just be crazy, and if the people that watch him and listen to him are too stupid to not know when he's saying things that
Right.
are outlandish or fucking stupid,
I
know.
mean, it's the same with Trump, like I'm not a fan of the guy, but I think everybody has a right. Like that's one of the main rights I think we all should be aware of is our First Amendment.
Yeah.
And like that's to me one of the most important ones.
Yeah. I've seen people, I won't say any names, but videos of people actually saying out of their mouth, the more we lose control with the freedom of speech, the more we lose control.
Well,
And
yeah,
I'm
how
like-
do you get it back?
Well,
Yeah, you're not supposed to have control over that.
yeah, and that's the whole
Like,
point.
how much fucking control do you need?
Right, that's the whole point though, is like it is about control, right?
Right.
Because messaging, wording, it all matters. It all matters. And so it's like I remember I was this was a few years ago too when the censorship started to pick up a little bit, and I was at a mic, and you hear all kinds of jokes, and
Yeah.
honestly it's up to the audience to let that comic know that it's not funny or to work on it or to just
Right.
get rid of it, right? But so I have a mic I host at Kingmaker Brewing in Riverside. It's called Los Rotos Dojo, and I've had a lot of people come there who don't know me. They haven't seen me do stand up, but they've had other experiences with other female comics, because I notice I don't want to say it's all female comics, because
Right.
I just noticed in the vicinity that I've been in, some of them set rules to their mics, like no homophobia, no this. It's kind of like no shit, right? Like no, like why do we have to tell people not to say these things?
But
Like
why can't you?
no, you can. That's my whole point, though. If you make it funny, right?
Right, it's gotta be
Nobody's
funny.
saying so. Why do we have to tell people don't do this? Obviously, if you're gonna do it, it's gonna be funny, right? You're
Right.
not gonna come out there and be like, these fucking, like
Even if it's not funny, it's jokes. I mean, it's you may
Well,
be working on it.
yeah.
Maybe it's something you're.
Well, some people think they're jokes and they're just being racist. Like it's so obvious that it's not. You know what I
maybe.
mean? Like it's
maybe.
not. Like it's not funny. Like my friend Ashley, she's part Chinese, but she looks like a real white girl. There's some hints
a
of it.
real white girl.
You're right, like
Really,
me.
really
like
white.
me. I look like a white girl.
Yeah,
I'm not. You
I
know,
look like
so
a white guy.
yeah. So
I am.
she presents white, is what I'm saying.
I
I
got
present
you.
white, but we have different heritage. So, but
I'm not going to assume your ethnicity.
Right. You can just see I'm white, right? You don't really know like the whole background, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, so Ashley was dressed for her mic. She has a mic, Death by Comedy. She hosted with 3 other guys, great group of people. But she would dress like a Korean lady who owned a nail salon that day. And I said it, her hair was in a bun. She had this button up. She was wearing these like plaid like slacks with flip flops, like with like these cute little diamond thongs. And
Like,
I was like,
baby girl, what are you doing?
No, I was like, girl, your heritage is showing today. And
Yeah.
she started laughing. She goes, oh my God, you have to, because I wasn't going to go do a set. She goes, you have to go do a set just to say that joke. And I was like, no. But it's like,
That's good.
but see what I'm saying? Like we're making an observation. It's a joke. And it's not racist. It's just observant that certain ethnicities in certain things dress a certain way. It's just like when I make jokes about my mom or Latin people, it's because it's an observation. And
maybe they all know that it's true.
Oh yeah, they do. They do. Most of us do know. Like when we say stuff, we all laugh because there's a lot of trauma, you know, and especially with people who definitely flee their countries or do, you know, so I think humor tends to be a strong point a lot in those communities. So they tend to laugh at themselves easier than people give them credit. So I don't think we need to like tiptoe around that shit.
No.
That's the shit that I think makes you look racist.
Yeah.
Makes you actually look like a sexist when you're
about it.
so worried about like, it's like, just be yourself, dude.
Just say the
and
joke.
if somebody is offended, if they're like, cause
You might get your ass kicked, and it's okay. You'll live.
here's the thing, dude, just walk out. Like, well, don't make a scene. Like,
Exactly.
I've done that before. If I didn't like a joke or I thought it was going too far, and I was like, I can't watch this train wreck. I have secondhand embarrassment. I just go,
I get
I'm
that
getting
too.
out of here,
I
dude.
get that too.
And I'll talk to them after about it, but I'm not gonna. Because anyway, back to the story though. I'm sorry.
No. Rabbit holes are good.
The reason why I brought up the females is because it was at the time there was more female comics in the scene, and we were at a table, and they were like, I can't stand when they this and that. And I go, listen, you're drawing a fine line here. I was like, because what if you go up there and they say they don't like what you're saying,
Right.
and you want to? I was like, at the end of the day, everybody can walk out. They don't need to listen. You know what I mean?
True
like
story.
so, the whole point of like, oh, they shouldn't be able. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would never.
I just feel like you said, of course it needs to be done properly.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a way to make things funny.
There's a way to make things funny, but if you have an idea, a premise for a joke, and it pokes, I don't think there should be any subject that's off limits. Personally, I don't. The joke may suck,
right?
and people are going to boo you because the joke sucks. But it drives me crazy that people get offended by anything that comedians say. I don't know. I love comedy.
You would be so surprised.
Oh, no, I know.
It's so crazy, some
I know.
of the things. And I was like, you weren't upset about somebody. I told you a joke about somebody pulling a tampon with their teeth out of my vagina. But you're.
I hope that not actually happened.
Nah,
Hey-oh.
That's the part of the joke.
Yeah,
That's the part is how gross men are and this and that. And then I basically I redirect and I go, but of course I slept with them. You know, because I'm just as. Because I was like, and how sexy that guy didn't care. You know?
Right.
I was like, well, now I got to
He
be an
said
animal
he was
going to
eat the corn out of my shit. He ended up getting a fry with ketchup.
I don't do that joke often though, because like. You don't always, like, when you're trying out on an open mic, there's not a lot of broads in the audience. There's a lot of dudes, and a lot of dudes don't want to be confronted with their disgusting
We don't want to hear your women humor.
Well, that's another thing is, like, I was just talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I don't get DMs of dick pics. This is not an invitation, by the way.
What's your email?
I just want to put this out there. Not an invitation for any pics. Okay. But I realize, like, I also don't get accosted. Like, I do think it depends how you carry yourself, but I'm also an older broad than a lot of those kids, you know? Like, I say kids, but some of them are in their late 20s, early 30s, you know? But I do think, you know, I think it can be how you carry yourself.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
How long have you been doing?
5 years now.
5 years?
Yeah, but I would say I took it seriously, probably the last 3 years or whatever.
Made you want to do it?
I love comedy.
Who told you were funny?
No, nobody did. No. So like, this is what happened.
Bitch, I was born with it.
No, this is trauma, son. This is a child who thought they were hideous and couldn't make friends. You know, through physical stuff. So I was like, I'll just make jokes. I'll make them laugh. They'll like me then. And so like, I always thought I was like this hideous kid because. If you look at my brother and sister, I have an older brother and a younger sister. My sister is banned, by the way, Sextile. So she's literally a rock star and stuff.
Dope.
when we were younger, we looked very different. Even though we're only 16 months apart, she has the brown hair, the exotic look. She looks either Sicilian or Latin.
Right.
And then you got my white ass with red hair, freckles. And then my brother looks like my sister. So I'm in the middle. And I didn't think
Like, are you adopted?
that's exactly what happened. When we started going to school, and we're only 16 months apart, so I'd be in first grade, she'd be in kindergarten or first, second. And people would be like, "Your sisters?" And we're like, "Yeah." And we didn't think about it, and they're like
Did your
full-blooded.
mom fuck the milkman?
Yeah, they're like full-blooded.
Not a lot of people get that joke.
Yeah, and my dad told me that though. He told me my father was the milkman's daughter. He did my whole life.
That's
Like because I
hilarious.
would ask him after these kids,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Yeah, Vanessa." And my dad's from Brooklyn, old Sicilian. He's like,
Nice.
"Yeah, Vanessa, you're the milkman's daughter. I'm taking care of the milkman's daughter." And I'm like, "Okay, Dad,
Oh,
thanks."
my God.
Now shut your mouth and go clean your room.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I hit you with a slipper.
He's like, "Listen, these broads always getting on me." No, but he was the one who was like, I guess when I turned 18, he reminded me this. I didn't know I did this. He said I asked him to tell me the truth if I was really adopted, and he told me yes, and I started crying.
Oh, Jesus.
And I was like, "Dad, if I didn't remember that, why are you trying to remind me of a traumatic?"
I just thought I'd
Tumble block.
refresh your memory over there.
He goes, "Well, I didn't think you'd take it seriously." I go, "Dad, I've been asking you my whole life. Why wouldn't I?"
That's
I'm
awful.
taking your
Jeez.
answer
That's fucking awful.
serious. Fucking asshole. God,
Jesus.
I love that guy though. I love that guy.
I mean, that's good. That's
do
good.
love my dad.
And he can make jokes like that because you love him.
That's true. He does get away with a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So
We do.
So yeah, but
Us
my dad
dads.
is charismatic. My dad's charismatic.
Yeah.
He's,
See, I was the kid that, like, everybody told me I was funny growing up. Oh, my God, you're the funniest dude I ever met. And one of my good friends, he told me since I was 12, he's like, "Dude, you need to be a comedian. You should be a comedian." And I'm
Right.
like, I always was just like, no, I don't. And I tried one time. I had like I didn't know what I was fucking doing. I had nothing, no
Right.
material, nothing. I didn't know anything about comedy. I just goofed off all the time. I was definitely the class clown. And like, I was small, so I got bullied, and my way out was, to cover it with a joke. And people would like laugh, and then
Right.
they're like, "Yeah, you're all right," and but I was in a band. We had the whole mic set up and
Right.
everything in the practice space. So I sat down like 4 or 5 of my friends and family and stuff, and I was just like, I froze, and I said, never again will I try or even think about getting up in front of people with a microphone and trying to do comedy. See, now I could sit here and be stupid,
right.
because there's no one here but us.
Right. You don't have like an audience or
Yeah.
whatever.
I would literally shit down my leg.
I forget how that can be very intense for some people, but I grew up, I'm from New York City, and I grew up playing music since I could remember. So
Awesome. What do you play?
Flute. I play the flute. I can play any instrument really if you just show me. I can
Yeah?
just start playing. So
Even the skin flute?
Oh, Jesus.
wow.
I was good. That's why I
we
looked
call
at
that hack in our business.
Yeah, we
call
got
that a weak
Okay,
one.
so we got a lot of hack up in here.
All right,
We make it's a lot of dick jokes, and that's what she said. you
But
know.
obviously, I have a 22-year-old daughter, so yes, I can play that just
Hey,
fine. Just fine. So I did crowd work one time, and I was like, obviously I didn't swallow, and like everybody fell out because I was like, my poor kid.
Yeah, hopefully she never sees that.
She does. She doesn't want to watch my comedy. She tells me all the time she doesn't want to watch it.
I get enough of it at home, Mom.
Yeah, I don't really tell her my ins and outs of my sexual escapades, but
Thank
they're
God
in
for
my
that.
jokes, they're in my jokes. So, and that's another thing. I hate when guys are like, why are women always talk about their vagina? It's like, why do you always talk about your dick? It's the same thing. I have a
I
vagina.
don't ever talk about my dick.
I have a vagina. You have a dick. I'm going to talk about my vagina. Now, if you want me to talk about your fucking blunt nose, ugly, crooked ass dick on stage, I can do that instead. But I'm not going to.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little aggressive.
No, it's okay.
But it's like, I hate when guys say that because it's like, what are we supposed to talk about?
Well,
you want
it's
me to
an
talk
odd-
about the patriarchy that you're
dick
really...
is the dick is like a really odd extremity. It's just like you got these. Obviously, they're for picking things up and moving shit around.
Right.
And that fucking thing just hangs out all day and doesn't really do anything but just. I mean, it does some things.
I was like, it has its
but
purpose.
it's an odd. It's just during the day before it's Batman at night.
Right,
and fighting vaginas. It's just hanging out, or in my case, just kind of poking out.
Well,
Oh,
maybe
that was hacked?
Maybe you're. I was gonna say, maybe you're just a grower.
Well, you know.
It's like,
I,
maybe you're not a shower. You're just a grower.
yeah, that
Maybe
would,
you're neither.
Yeah.
it's more of an innie. That's a vagina, Jim. No, yeah.
I don't know, man. Lately though too, a lot of like I have one comic friend. He's probably not watching this, but he literally is trying to
broke
push
my
me.
heart.
Because just because he's gonna like, I have a life. I can hear him now. He's like, of course I didn't watch it, Vanessa. I have a life.
Greatest
And
podcast
if he is watching this, fuck you. No, like,
yeah.
he's one of my closest friends though in comedy.
So you can do that.
So yeah, exactly. So he'll we constantly do bits. I think people don't realize we're doing a bit.
You guys roast each other?
Yeah, in front of everybody. And so I don't know. So he constantly tells people I'm gay.
Oh, nice.
And so people are starting to really believe it. Because I do come off like a masculine
Yeah.
vibe and I'm not interested. I don't care if dudes like me or not. Like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have this, like, me
Well, it
like
probably
me thing,
keeps
you know?
them from hitting on you.
Well, I'm still friendly and
Yeah.
I'm fun and I hang out with the boys, but I am one of the boys, I
Yeah.
guess, you know? So when he tells, so people who don't know me that well, and he's like, oh, she's just trying to find a girlfriend. And he does it so casually. And I'm just like, and then I play on it too. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, she has to be femme. We've already talked about this. Like, you know? And people are like, really? And I was like, no, dude, he's just like, you guys haven't picked up yet.
Yeah,
He's
we're
just breaking my
playing
balls.
a game.
Yeah, he's breaking my balls, dude. I don't fucking. Anyway, but yeah, I'm getting into that era. So now maybe I'll get more shows. Maybe they'll think I'm a lesbian comic.
Yeah.
And I'll get booked on more.
Oh, yeah. You'll play.
I talk to my friends who are gay and they're like, no, it's true. We get booked on more stuff because they have label. They know it.
Really?
DI.
Yeah. Because they can fit into more
up.
genres of things.
Hmm.
And so they're aware that they have more options to get booked.
Curious.
I just look like some.
It's like a scholarship.
what
if-
the
if I'm-
lesbians make jokes about.
Oh, they make the same kind of jokes.
Heterosexual people?
No, I mean, yes and no. I mean,
I got this pussy hair stuck
I
in my
think-
teeth.
No, I think it's the same jokes we make.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just making observational jokes and like, you know, just like if I made a joke where I compare a lesbian couple to like a straight couple, like, you know, if I was on stage and there was some helical work and I saw like, or a couple and I saw like a gay couple and a hetero couple and maybe it's related, I'd be like, you guys don't have to deal with that. You know, like shit like that, you know, like you play on that. But I don't think anything's wrong with talking about the differences.
Yeah.
But my best friend, she's gay, so I like don't have qualms about it.
Yeah.
Also, my whole life, people have always thought I was gay, so I don't, because like even in high school, I was a skater kid. I was, you know, I was just kind of, you know, even though I can't explain it. I always rode the line of hanging out with people who are jocks and like normies, I guess you could say, but then also hanging out with like,
Punks. And
yeah,
the skaters.
yes, yeah. You just reminded me of getting knocked out by some 300-pound man.
How
trying
the fuck did I do that?
Because when you said punk rock, and I was like, oh yeah, I did. I remember the mosh pits very well.
Same.
I got knocked out though by this 300-pound man that I guess
fun.
he jumped off the stage to crowd surf.
Oh, no.
Everybody moved out
Fella,
of the
there's
way.
a weight
No.
limit. I'm just saying.
Everybody knew that. They all left. But
except
he
you.
was he was coming at the corner where I was looking here. He was coming from here. And so I saw a shadow. And I went to turn. And as he was landing on me and knocked me out.
Jesus.
Cold. And then my friends and one of the other bouncers picked me up because they saw him knock and like I think they
think of
beat
the
him up.
jaws of
I think
life.
they beat the shit out of him after
Really?
that. Yeah, it's an old school punk show in the 90s. Yeah, you get your head knocked off.
You're
Like
right.
back then, even now kids are still crazy, but back then,
Nah, they're not as crazy now, I don't think. I feel like
Not
if you take some of the kids that are going to punk shows right now and put them in those 90s punk shows, I don't think they'll last very long.
I know the broads wouldn't. Because the broads were hit too in the 90s. Like
Yeah.
that was,
Yeah.
if you got in that
Oh,
pit.
we didn't see a lot of, I mean, like the shows I would go to, are you from here?
No, I lived in New York City and then I moved to Miami and I lived in Tampa. I've lived all over Florida.
Yeah.
So,
How
but
long have you lived here?
in Jacksonville, on and off for the last 20 years. But
Okay.
I moved back from Oakland, California in 2018.
Well,
and-
there's this place that used to be downtown called the Milk Bar.
Oh, yes. I know of
It was
that.
it was the biggest fire hazard you've ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
ever. Like it's literally like one person can go up or down the stairs at a time.
I saw pictures of it. I was like, that's insane.
Yeah,
Like,
we used to go to shows there. I used to play there But yeah, all the time we'd go there, and it is fucking like you can jump and touch the ceiling and all the rafters and shit.
Right.
But it was just crazy. But there was always people getting their asses handed to them. But we didn't see a lot of
chicks.
Yeah, I mean, if they were back at the
Tampa.
bar.
This was in Tampa, like Ybor City.
Right.
So we would go, and we were like 14. Like we were young.
Yeah.
Like it's a crazy time though to think about because like. I also think it helped us grow faster, like mature more though, because we were given these like opportunities to pretend to be an adult. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
we were a lot. And I was having this conversation with Alana the other day. It's just like, it seems like, I mean, I get it now, and I don't know if it's because of the internet or what, but we had so much more freedom to fuck up.
Yeah.
And
not a camera wasn't in your fucking face every day.
Right. Well, not only that, but there was probably creeps like casing us in their car, like gonna take us and
I know
whatever.
there was. We were flashed as kids with weirdos.
Yeah,
with their...
I mean, I'm just like people wanting to steal kids and shit,
right.
like abduct, I guess is the right word, but but we didn't know about it. You didn't hear about it. Occasionally you would hear about some guy would be in the news because he had like 18 kids buried in his backyard, and we're like, oh, that's horrible. And then we'd forget about it, like the boogeyman. We didn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
We were still on our bikes and doing crazy shit, jumping off the roof. I mean, but these kids now, they see this shit, and it's like everywhere. And not just is it everywhere that they're seeing on the internet, they're on the internet
right.
fucking with them live.
Right.
And that's the creepy part.
I think, I feel like they put so much value into this, this piece of equipment when it's like, really, we had more togetherness, I think, because we had to commune with each other.
Yeah.
We couldn't, my friends, I didn't get a phone until 2004 or 5, maybe even 6.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because I had a young daughter, I realized I need a phone.
Yeah.
Because something happened where my car overheated and I had no phone. I had to ask a stranger.
Yeah.
That guy, his car was overheating. He was nice enough to let me follow him. It was nighttime to Gainesville, far enough to we stopped together because both our cars. So every time we stopped at an exit, he was such a nice guy.
Our two shitty cars combined.
And then my mom ended up coming from Jacksonville to come get us. And it was crazy, though, to think about. That was only 20 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, that was just around the corner. I've had the same phone, same number. Because I'm very, like, that kind of stuff, I'm consistent. But people would laugh because they knew if you didn't call me by a certain time, I was done. I was out for the night.
Well,
like, you couldn't reach me.
Nights and weekends were free.
Yeah. Well, no.
Back then.
Well, the thing is, I didn't have a cell phone. So, like, for a few years as an adult, if you didn't call me in time, and then I got a friend, she had a Nokia phone. She's like, just give him my number. And I'm like, because I'm going to be with you. And I'm like, what? You're going to just hand out your number? I guess she already was used to that cell phone behavior. I was never.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, even a pager back in the day, we wouldn't give out somebody's pager.
Right.
Just because we didn't want to just bother them.
Pagers.
Yeah.
I had a pager.
Dude, that trick with the payphone, you'd like, if they didn't answer the phone in time with 2 rings, you hang up so you get your quarter back and you call back. We had so many tricks, especially living in New York City and Miami, like, it's to keep your money.
I want to get a payphone and put it in here. Once I get this built out the way I want it to be built out. Sorry about the dogs. I apologize.
You're going to have to get yourself some dynamite.
Oh, yeah. For sure, there's going to be some rock wool in the wall so
you
can't hear shit outside. Mama just left to pick up her daughter, so that's why they're acting.
It is, yeah.
They're acting a fool out there right now. But yeah, what the fuck was I don't know. I want to get because nobody really. I don't think anybody knows what a fucking payphone looks like anymore. I mean,
I think there's one still in Jacksonville. I don't think it works.
So?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Murray Hill.
For sure, if you get 5 feet within it, you're probably going to get HIV.
Oh, of course. I'm sure in the north side there has to be one.
Oh yeah, where all the shootings are.
Yeah, they don't go out there to just take stuff off. Like I'm sure there's something just hanging around. It probably doesn't work anymore, but it's there. I mean, in New York City. You only use those things for emergencies.
Do you imagine how much jizz is on
Oh,
that phone?
everywhere. It was back in the day, too. As a kid, they had the doors. You could shut the door back then. I think in New York, they eventually took the doors off because they realized how unsafe it was. Because you're on a busy street and you can shut a door. Bro, you know how many people got hurt and killed and, shot up? Like, nah.
Yeah, you're not Superman, buddy. You're not going in there to...
No.
Yeah,
Is it bad? What is happening?
Oh, no. He was fixing my camera, I think. Yeah, those were the days. I mean, I don't even think they had the little door shutty ones whenever, the little pods or whatever.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, it was just the wide open, no prophylactic
Yes, eventually they did that.
payphones.
Yeah, where they got the metal and then they just sat it in there.
Yeah.
Dude,
Crazy times, man.
Yes.
It's weird to see like the evolution.
Yeah. Once it
happening.
started, it was so quick, though.
Very quick.
So once it started, because
And
I mean,
people say that we're cyborgs because of that. I mean, you think about it, like that's part of your brain.
I guess somehow, yeah, because there's even times I think people would say they think they hear a vibration, or you know what I mean, like we have a phantom.
Yeah.
I do think now everybody's so used to having something like that around. I was curious, like I've read about possible cancer emitting stuff, but I'm like, how much do you have to be on your phone, and for how long? You know, I've never.
So I heard an interview with Elon Musk, of course on the JRE, but he was talking about how he was talking about the actual waves that come off of the phone. He's like that. There's nothing cancer causing in it. Nothing emitting. It's not emitting. It's radio waves. It's not.
So it's not.
It's not microwaves
Waves or
or
anything
anything
like that.
crazy like that. You're not.
Or like gamma rays. Or
Right. He's like, because the I guess the argument was, I got a friend that always kept it in that little holster next to him.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And
of
then he
people
got
put in a-
testicular cancer, and I'm like, that seems like a. I mean,
I think that's Monsanto. I think we should look at food and pesticides.
Yeah.
Like allegedly.
Mhm.
I just put
Right.
that
Yeah,
out there.
please.
Allegedly.
say that anything incriminating or conspiracy like always follow.
Oh yes,
with-
allegedly.
in my opinion,
All of this is allegedly.
or just my opinion,
Yeah, my opinion.
because your opinion is okay.
Yeah,
I think.
but I do think since the 70s we've just seen a downfall in food, and I do think that's why we see an increase in cancer now.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've consumed enough, microplastics and pesticides.
Yep.
Where
Well,
we've
they've already done a study with 96% of people have glyphosate in their blood.
Yeah.
Roundup.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not even a
Yeah.
pesticide; it's a herbicide.
Was that on
Well,
that king corn?
I think that's also
Yeah.
why men now too have lower testosterone and like all kinds of
Oh,
other
for sure.
issues. Like my dad, he's so proud of himself. He's in his 70s, and he's like, my doctor told me I got high levels of testosterone still, like a 23-year-old, and I'm like, ew.
That's
Dad,
not too much.
I don't want to know
information.
that your balls are still full, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I get it.
Your
I
daddy
get,
can
I
still
could
lift
bust
his-
it up with the best of them.
yeah, exactly.
I can still lift my 9-pound hammer.
Yeah. He's like, I don't need any TRT. I was like, oh God, Dad,
That's
relax.
fucking
Yeah,
hilarious.
but
I like your dad.
Yeah, my dad's funny. My dad's a funny guy. Secondhand embarrassment with him is always, but it's only because like he's doing something funny, but it's my dad.
It's our job to embarrass our children.
Yeah. Well,
He's a master at it.
he is. I'm better at handling it. I think my brother and sister who aren't like, my brother lives in Portland, my sister lives in LA, and she's touring all the time.
Right.
I don't think they're as used to him still doing it. Plus, he's older, so some of his jokes you're like,
Raunchy.
you're an old dude, stop.
Yeah.
But it's also because he's our dad.
He
you
hit
know?
the fuck it button.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
fuck it, I don't care.
Oh, he's always hit that though.
I'm
Like,
70
my
years
dad-
old.
My dad's always hit that button.
No one. I mean, when you hit a certain age, it's just like,
You can't tell me shit.
listen, man, I'm done fucking pulling punches with you fucks.
Well, my dad's always been sort of a rebel in his own right. Like he's the one who got us into music. He's the one
Yeah.
who like. I think he lives like vicariously through us. He even has watched me do stand.
I would if I had a kid that was a stand-up and another kid that was a touring musician.
And my brother's an audio and engineer, and
I mean-
he has his own business called Love My Switches. He's
Okay, shout out.
the #1 distributor in North America for pedal parts and everything else. So
Nice.
you may have even seen him and not realize it was because
Maybe.
I had students who. I'm a UX UI designer too. I didn't talk to you guys about that. I'm not just a stand-up.
Is there
comedian.
anything that you don't do? Let's get
No,
that out of the
in
way.
In the Scaduto family, we tend to be Renaissance people.
Are you guys part Jamaican?
No, but we did find out. No, I do have we found out a lot of weird stuff in our bloodline. But no, we get that from my dad though. My dad, I guess you would call him a Renaissance guy. Like he's the one who taught us, like, if you want to learn something, go figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll go to the library. We'll go, because back then we had to go to the library, guys. We didn't have YouTube. Or we found somebody who was a master at it and asked if they could teach us something or whatever.
Right.
So that was kind of
That's dope.
how we learned.
Yeah.
And so to this day, like, even one of my friends, Ashley, the girl I was telling you about, she's telling me she has issues with her fuel pump. She has a Cadillac. And I go, well, send me the model and make. I'll see if I can switch out the fuel pump myself, because I did it for my daughter's car. So I can help.
I got some work that needs to be
Yeah,
done.
exactly. So, but those are easy fixes. You know,
Yeah.
if it's a one thing, you know, you could just pull out the back
Yeah.
seat, take it out, whatever. But
Yeah, I'm not like the most. I know that's like what. It's
mechanically
like
inclined.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like a thing. It's like I'm masculine. I work on my car.
But see, mechanical inclinations can be like radios too, like building stuff. Like my dad, though, since we were kids, he'd buy us kits like that. We would build radios, and like he bought us like dinosaur kits back in the day where you could build the actual bones. And,
Yeah.
But like back then, the models were big. It's not like these cheapy ones they have
Right.
now. Like, and
3D printed.
yeah, you could. Yeah, now back then you'd have to paint it, like all that stuff.
yeah.
You know, so. My dad's always been that guy who's like introduced us to different things. I guess it's STEM, and I didn't think about it, but we just did STEM all the time because he liked it, and so he's like, "Well, let me teach you how to do this." And
Well,
so,
yeah. I mean, as a parent, you just teach your kids what you know,
right?
and they can either like run with it or run away from it.
Yeah, we ran with it. We took it further
Good.
than him. So like that's. I mean, my dad now too. It's funny. He's a realtor, but he's finally doing more creative stuff because he's also a carpenter. My dad does a bunch of stuff.
I just got this image in my head of the way you were talking, like, you know, emulating your dad and like selling a house. Hey,
Yeah.
this one's only got about 4 years on it.
Well, his
Got a
accent's
lot of miles.
His not that bad.
You
It's
just
just
over-accentuate
I
it?
over exaggerate it because it used to be bad, right?
I'm thinking like Joey Diaz over here.
Yeah, I mean it could be, but Joey's from Jersey, so Joey
true.
and I've met Joey. He's a very nice guy.
Have you?
But yeah, he's
Dope.
super nice
Get it
guy.
together,
So
bitch.
sweet, so sweet. I'm literally the same height as him though. He's
Really?
Like, yeah, he's not as big as you think. He looks
wow.
bigger because he's a big guy,
Yeah.
like hefty size. But he's probably a little bit taller than me, maybe an inch or two. But he's not.
You never
like,
saw his balls though. Did
no,
you? I
no.
heard he
But I
did-
hear
well,
I hear they're big.
I hear
they're
that he
big.
used to do that a
Joey.
lot.
Got
Yeah.
big
Maybe
balls.
he's grown up a little bit. He doesn't show his balls. as
Yeah,
much.
well, his daughter, he has like a 10-year-old now, like, and then so I think he probably, I'm sure she's aware of what her dad has done, but
Ari Shafir took the torch.
oh my God, Ari, he's just an edgelord. Ari's like
Oh my
a
God, my
huge
girlfriend's
troll.
daughter calls me edgelord. I don't know what the fuck that means.
It means that like you're always pushing the envelope and you're
Oh.
trying to get a reaction.
Yeah.
And so I have a couple friends like that, and some of them regret it now though because now that's like their thing. And
Yeah.
I'm like, just rebrand yourself then, dude. Just start telling jokes that you like. I don't know. Why'd you do that?
Back to the jokes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Listen,
No,
I'll go
no,
off on
no.
5 million tangents, so you got to keep me on track.
I have that real disorder, ADHD.
Same.
I go down rabbit holes
Mm-hmm.
as well. I'll take people on all kinds of weird trips. But like when you're writing your comedy, like you've been doing it for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously you're not still, using like the same jokes or whatever.
You'd be surprised, though.
You cycle them. in and
No,
out.
not necessarily, but the goal is to build
Right.
on the joke.
Okay.
So, like, if it's a good foundation of a joke, like, yeah, maybe it's good for a showcase, but, like, you can expand it even
Mm-hmm.
more. Like, that's where people go to 30 minutes or go to 45, because they're like, all right, so I said this joke. It's pretty good for a 10-minute set, but is there any way I can develop it even more, go deeper into it? Can I add more to it?
Or is it going to fuck it up?
Or is it just not even worth it? Or there's other times where I was just recently talking to a couple of comedians about veterans too,
Yeah.
ones who's doing it for a while, and I was naturally doing this, but I'm glad to hear they do it, which is like taking pieces of other jokes and adding it to a new joke, going, oh, you know what? This would actually work better in this
Like
joke.
Legos.
And expanding that, because this joke over here may be good, it's not great, but this joke is pretty great right now, but like I can actually make it even better by adding this little like
It's like a remix.
yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I like it.
yeah. So it all depends, like And I go back now. I'm starting to look back at my old stuff. I just started doing that, and I was like, oh, I had something here. Why didn't I develop this?
Yeah.
But that's when I told you, like, I started taking it serious like 3 years in, even though I'd been doing it for 5 years. And so those are the jokes I'm going back like year 2 and looking at them and going, why didn't you develop this? Like, you had something here.
Right. How do you come up with a premise or like a joke that you would start?
If something
to
makes
build
me
on?
laugh, or if I think about something that was horrible, but I
Yeah.
laugh at it now, I'm like, okay, what's funny about this? Why am I laughing? How is this relatable to the audience? How can they relate to me?
Do you sit down and like write it out, or do you like type it?
Sometimes. So sometimes I'll write out bullet points. Like if I'm starting to work on it, like newly work on it,
Yeah.
I'll write out bullet points. There is a formula sometimes to jokes that people don't realize. So next time you watch a comic, you'll see a good one.
Yeah.
A good one. I should put
Wait,
that.
what are you trying to say?
A good one. And not open mics, guys. Open mics are for us to try out new stuff. So you're not going to, sorry, I don't know if that made it sound. You're
No,
not
you're
going to
good.
get a complete, like, crispy set all the time. Maybe
Right.
somebody
You're
who
working
knows
out.
they're having a showcase coming up, you will, because they're going to do their showcase set there because they want to
Right.
make sure their timing's good and whatever. But most of us who don't have a showcase coming up in a week or so, we're going to try new stuff. And then when the showcase comes up, we're going to keep trying that stuff that we worked on that we know
Right.
is good. But because we only get 5 minutes on an open mic, you have to kind of split. You have to go to several open mics a week to split up your set, unless you have a friend who's a host who lets you kind of
Right.
run the light.
And from what I understand,
Run the light a little bit.
the only place that the only way you can really try out your jokes or practice them is in front of a mirror. No, I'm kidding.
I
It's
was
a joke.
like,
No,
I was
that's-
like, I never do
no,
that.
it's in front of an audience.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the best
No,
way
but some
to
people
do it.
do that. Some people do practice, and I can't. I would be.
Yeah.
It's just not natural for
Doesn't-
me.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel natural at that point.
Well, the thing is too is like when you in the comics who do that, you can tell it's rehearsed.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is like most people want you to talk to them like you're their friend.
Right.
So you want it to sound kind of like
be personable.
conversational,
Yeah.
and like, you want your pauses to feel natural. Or if they're going to be intentional, make them intentional. Like give it that space, because a lot of the newer comics I notice they don't. And I used to do this. I still do it sometimes if I'm like nervous or I'm rushing. Like if I only have 5 minutes and I know I only have 5 minutes, I'm not holding for a laugh track. Okay, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going to sit in the laugh. I'm going to keep moving. But when you are in a showcase, you do want to sit in the laugh.
Right.
You do. You want people to enjoy that and then move forward. But newer comics will not know how to do that because they're excited. They got the laugh. Your adrenaline's rushing. You're not sure if the feedback's correctly. There's a lot of nuance sometimes to it, like how you're interpreting the people in front of you, because the back of the room could be laughing their ass off, but
Right.
you don't hear them.
Right.
And then you're looking at these deadpan people in front of you, and I'm like,
Not funny.
who dragged you out here, dude?
New
because
subject.
you look miserable.
Are you
bro.
happy
Like,
to be here?
I was like, is my camel toe showing? What's happening, dude?
hey,
Like, it's like,
hey.
if so, you should be smiling more, dude. What's going on?
1-800 camel towing.
Yeah, exactly. Ironically, my friend Ashley that I told you about, she roasted me in front. She went up there and she goes, I called her up after a mic. It's my friend Chris Buck. He's a touring comic.
Uh-huh.
He runs a mic every Mondays at Rain Dogs, 10 p.m. after her Shantytown mic that Joey Nichols runs. And so Ashley went up and she goes, after I called her up, she goes, I didn't know we were going to be seeing so much camel toe from Vanessa today. And I was like, and it was so funny, but I was like, if it had been a normal situation, I'd be like, bitch, why didn't you tell me? But she didn't have time to tell me because
Yeah,
I
you were
called her
already-
up. I called her up because
yeah.
she was going to tell me when I sat down, but because I called her up, she didn't have a chance, so she just took it upon herself.
And you guys have that relationship.
Oh, and we laughed. And
Yeah.
that's the whole point, though. I think all comics should, whether you're friends or not, is to be like, okay, they're doing a bit.
Yeah.
And if they're not doing a bit, then, fist fight later. But, like, in the moment, I don't always assume people are being assholes. They're just finding the humor in it.
Yeah.
And did I have a camel toe? Yeah, I did. It was obvious. Why didn't you tell me? Nobody tells me.
I mean, you were smiling from both ends. How fucking nervous were you, like, the first time you got up in front of people?
I was a little drunk, so I don't know if I was that nervous. I do remember I was forced to do it because I was about to leave. And Brian Ziola, he's a great comic too. He's another veteran, and he runs like Worst Coast Comedy, and do stuff and book. He forced me to do it. He was actually helping Chris Buck run that mic that night, and he's like, "You're not going anywhere. You're going up." And I did, and I just talked about the misery of being in my family, and I didn't think it was going to be as funny as it was, but everybody started laughing. I was like, "Oh, so you guys are down with trauma? Okay, family trauma works here." And everybody kept laughing, and I was like, "I guess I'll do this again." And I've always loved comedy. I've been obsessed with it. When I lived in California in Oakland, I'd go to the Punchline by myself all the time. Eventually, the door guys like knew me, like aware, and they're like, "Oh, we got your seat in the back," because they wouldn't sit single people in the front. They only sit them. So if you buy I sat. I mean, I had better shows like that sitting by the bar. All the single people, we just sat there. I sat next to this broad who was like flying. She was I almost called her a waitress, but she's a waitress of the skies. Guys, one, thank you. She's a flight attendant.
Can't call them stewardesses anymore.
I don't even know.
I was gonna say when I introduced
worse to call her a waitress.
When I introduced you, I was gonna be like, "Is it comedian or a comedian? Do you like?"
I don't care.
I know
it's just like if you. I have like I was talking about the joke about the pronoun. I was like, I have this joke where I just started this. It's new, so it's not really fully developed. I'm gonna see where I go with it, but I was basically.
You can work out here a little bit.
Yeah, I was basically saying. I was like, I hate that I'm getting older. You know, I have like vanity issues popping up. And I was like, my fear is that I'm going to get a stash or like a beard. And I was like, and it used to be because of vanity issues. And now it's because I'm worried that some fucking shit kid some Gen Z is going to be like, what's your pronouns? And I'm going to be like, I'm an old broad. Like, I'm just going through fucking menopause, okay? My womb is dying, okay? I don't want to have this conversation that my estrogen is failing me, all right?
So is it Caitlin or Bruce?
Exactly.
My pronoun is fuck off.
It's this dick. That's what this is.
Funny. I have been, don't know why, but I'll be driving around and I'll just have these thoughts that are funny to me, and I'll pull out the phone and like put it in the notes app, and I'll just do a bullet point or whatever. And one of them was that, you know, and I don't know why or how to even develop this. Maybe you can use it, but it was just that the language is so fucking weird that we have words to describe words.
Yeah.
Like verbs, adverbs, nouns, pronouns.
It's like listening to Kamala Harris talk.
Oh God.
And the space around.
Hold on. What does she do? She's like, and we are. And like the way she does it, there's a comedian I follow. She's from New York too. And she's ambiguous racially as well. So she does Kamala Harris, and it's so fucking funny.
Is that Esty?
I think her name's Sienna.
Oh, I don't know. There's a lady on...
Esty is somebody...
You know who I'm talking about? She's on X.
Yeah.
She is fucking killing it on X. She has 2 different accounts, but she does... a really good fucking Kamala.
I'm a woman wearing a blue dress.
Yeah, this is her. So her name is Sienna Hubert Ross.
Okay.
So
different lady.
But see, all of her Kamala Harris stuff that she's like, and today I'll be showing my old job. But it's her inflection of her, and she's like, oh my God, look at it. Like she does all this stuff. She's like, oh wow, a Whopper. Like the way she talks about it's like, anyway. It's just funny. She's also, people think she's Asian, and she's half black and white. And so she always plays off of that too, where people read her ethnicity as Asian. Yeah. So.
I mean, it happens.
Oh, that's the whole point. Yeah, that's why it's silly to get upset about it, because it's like, who cares? They're not, if somebody genuinely just doesn't know, like, okay, but it's different when they're like obviously being dicks about it, right? Like, then that's something to step into and be like, all right, I'm going to be dick right back to you. But
I had a misgendering moment a couple of years ago. I don't remember however long ago it was. I had my hair was a lot longer than this. It was like halfway down my back, and I had it down, and I was in a Target.
Is your ass that fat? What happened? They saw you from behind?
Maybe. Sorry. It's more wide than, there's nothing. Yeah. Anyways, it's flat Earth.
Sorry, this is...
Oh, my God. That's all right.
All right.
No, you're good. But, yeah, I had my hair down, and, of course, I had the beard, but the hair was covering the beard. And at the time, I was much slimmer. So maybe I did have a nice little figure. I don't know, but it was a lady, and she goes, "Excuse me, ma'am," and I took great pleasure in turning around and going, "What?" You know, like with all this ugliness, and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." It's fine. It happens all the time.
Right.
My favorite is when it happens in the bar.
Well, excuse me, my friend Stacy, she's a bodybuilder, and she shaves her head. And when I say she looks yoked, I'm not like she's got bigger backs than all of us for days, dude. It's a certain
Like
so
Michelle
anyway,
Obama?
right? So she'll put wigs on, but she's very, she because her body's so masculine, because she has so much muscle. When this whole stuff started, like, she thought it was funny that people would think she's a dude in there when she's like, no, got a vagina. I mean, my clit's fatter from the testosterone, but I still got it, so she doesn't give a shit. Like she,
Buck Angel.
She actually feeds into it a little bit because she's just like, you weirdos who care about this so much, like who care like what's in my pants.
Right.
Like she's constantly asked, even on the internet. Like guys will random message her, are you a man? Are you? And she's like, first off, it's none of your fucking business. No, I'm not. Like she talks about her son that gave birth to and everything, but you can see her before and afters, like, her transformation.
Yeah.
She's obviously a woman in those pictures. She's just now a yoked woman on T.
It just happens to shave her head.
Listen, testosterone will do a number on a woman's body.
I bet.
And she did that on purpose. She wanted those muscles, and that's what she wanted.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And that is weird that, of course, it's fucking guys. Guys are fucking stupid base creatures, and I say that as part of the team.
Right.
Sometimes
in the nicest way.
I don't want to be not part of the team. I love my team.
Right.
But sometimes you want to smack them around a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always so concerned with what the fuck is going on in your pants.
I think it's because it's an internalized homophobia, not intentional, but like I think they don't want to be.
Is it that, or is
sometimes,
it just
not
really,
always?
Is it
not
like
always.
Externalized?
I think,
stupidity.
No, I do think some guys, especially if if you're foreign, I'm sorry, but like depending on what country you're from, what culture you're from.
Yeah, cultures are different.
You may have internalized because also like religions, like certain religions are very homophobic. So like I can understand why they may have, the first reaction may be, I'm attracted to this masculine woman.
Exactly.
And then the second thought is, wait, what if it's not a woman and I'm gay? You know what I mean? So I think they internalize. That's what I mean by internalized homophobia. It's not like direct hate. It's like this weird thing. Like, what does that make me? When it's like, hey, maybe you just like dick, dude.
Well,
like it's
maybe,
okay. Like I mean,
like where I was going
at
with
this
the
point,
the externalized stupidity was that they like them. And they think that this is the right way to open conversation or a dialogue with this person.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because guys,
she has an OnlyFans. Go to her OnlyFans. You should really pay for it. She finally did that because she's like, you want to find out? Go pay for it.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's good. I think I was told by a friend of mine who has an OnlyFans, and she was telling me that I should start beard porn.
What do you do with beard porn?
Rub beard oil.
That's it?
Into your beard and just massage it.
I didn't know that was a category now.
I didn't either, but apparently it's a thing.
I used to have to rate porn.
I'm sorry?
Yeah. I used to have to rate porn. I was an internet judge. And
I thought.
No.
So sorry. I thought.
No, not
she
the
said with a
R-A-P.
T.
Yeah, T.
I was thinking with a P.
Rate. Like calculating rating, like a rating system.
Those words did not calculate in my brain.
So before AI existed or whatever, Google and other search engines would.
That's a job?
It was a job. And you would basically, you help their algorithm. Like, so like, you'd go into the database, you type in a query as a search, right? So you type in a query, and let's say it's Britney Spears circus, and then we'd have a rating system. So it went on quality versus also like it would be high rating if it was like a Vivo music video. Mm-hmm. If it was somebody who filmed it like from their couch, filmed it on TV or whatever, it would get a lower rating because it's still the video, but it's probably not what that person's going to look for. Now, when it comes to porn, same thing applies. So if you're looking for feet pics, or not feet pics, that's so I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this.
Anal?
Worse, shat stuff.
Scat.
Yes,
Wow.
that stuff has never left my memory. It's horrible.
Scat, blood play.
And you have to watch the video for at least a minute and a half.
Okay.
To make sure it has to be at least a minute and a half, and the quality is the same the whole way through. And those kind of things.
I'm telling you. Not to cut you off,
yeah.
but the people that are looking up scat videos could not give a fuck about the quality. I don't feel like.
You would think, but these were pretty high quality videos, and I can't get them out of my head. ever.
Listen, we paid all this much for this production, Johnson. Now shit on that woman's chest.
They literally had like one guy seemed to be like the superstar of scat porn. Like
He's like the Ron Jeremy
he
of
literally
shit.
yes, he literally I
Was
watched
his name
him
Blippy?
and he would shit in these girls' mouths, dude. It's not
Oh,
it's
Jesus
not
Christ.
the other way. It was him doing it to women and sorry. I almost threw out there.
I think the entire
that was actually a natural
Listen,
reaction.
all 20 of my
viscerally
followers
could see
just all had the same internal
Dude,
heave.
is anybody actually chatting? Are you guys
Oh
actually
yeah,
engaged with them?
upside down creative media.
That would be Marshall.
It's Marshall, yeah.
What's up, Marshall?
Said, Jim, you got to guess upgrade. Face paint, drinking tea. He said, fuck censorship. 100,000 ingredients introduced in the 90s are illegal in the UK, but now allowed in our food.
Yeah.
As he sits at home and makes sweet love to his favorite sock.
I do love it that Marshall and I have been
Sorry, Marshall. There's a comedian here. I had to go for the joke.
Marshall and I have been friends for so long that it's funny. We don't agree on everything, but we have agreed on those main things, the staples of stuff. Like, I think it's always nice when your friends grow still together, even though you don't need to agree on everything.
Yeah.
You know, that's what the 90s also had. We're not having that now. Like,
No.
I feel like even early 2000 we still had it. It was still like a layover. You know, we still had layover. 9/11 happened, so there's more camaraderie.
Sure.
You know,
That lasted for about 2 weeks?
yes, sure.
And then
never forget, dude.
never
forget,
never.
guys.
I was gonna say the opposite kind of happened with the dirty C word. You know, that lasted about a day, and then people were because we were like, we're all in this together.
I was like, wait, what are we? Sorry, my brain is so far from that.
You're thinking cunt.
I think everybody's brain is far from that now.
Well, I got in.
It was a real thing. It happened.
No, I got.
Unfortunately,
a lot of people reacted weirdly because and I don't care to tell you, I wouldn't get vaccinated. You know, so it's like,
How dare you?
But like the thing,
get off my podcast.
I know, but I mean, like it was a weird thing where
the airwaves.
That's not what you said when you signed the agreement.
Yeah, I know. When I gave them when I let them issue me a social security number, when I became a number, became a prisoner of this government.
Became a battery to generate wealth for the U.S.
Allegedly, okay, guys, this is all alleged.
These are jokes.
Jokes.
YouTube, calm the fuck down.
But yeah, no. So, what was I saying though? Oh yeah, so I had So back
you're looking at the wrong guy.
So back then, though, even in the comedy world, it was looked down that we were doing comedy and that we were like not
right. Yeah,
and they like at least with comics we could have discussions about why we weren't doing it, but outside of our comic friends, we couldn't talk to anybody.
No.
Everybody was getting so butthurt about everything.
You super spreader.
Yeah, I mean, which turns out not true. So, which I knew, and that's
Allegedly.
another thing. I was a pharmaceutical rep.
Okay.
I worked in pharmaceuticals. That's what I'm saying, guys. I like totally went away from corporate America, and I knew something wasn't right about how quick this was pushed.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was impossible for them to be making these grand statements of
Emergency Use Authorization Act.
Yeah, but I mean, for them to initially say that it was working, and then now, you know, when you watch Pfizer and them laugh at the government. Oh, sorry.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, no, when they were in the government thing,
Yeah.
you know, and they were asking them questions, and they're like, "Well, you guys said that," and they go, "Well, it never really worked. We just," and then he's like, "What?" But they said, and he's like, "Yeah,
they
but
testified in front of Congress.
yeah," and it's funny because even when you like try to show people who still were like very adamant about getting it, and you try to say, "Well, see, this is what I was talking about,"
Yeah.
they still don't want to hear it,
Right.
because they don't want to admit fault. You
No.
know, and
You
it's
have
like
to keep the
which
thing
I get it, but I'm also autoimmune compromised. If I had taken that, it would have been worse for me.
You think so?
Oh, 100%. I have a friend, he has to take injections now. I think it's once a week. It's either once a week or once a month.
Okay.
And there are complications from that.
Jesus.
And it's basically his tissue, it caused it's called like nephrotic. It's basically
Necrotic?
necrotic something, but it's basically all your muscles are dying.
Oh,
Neuropathy.
Yeah, but if he doesn't get these injections to keep the fluids going, it will eat away at his muscles, and guess what? Your heart's a muscle.
I think with any of those
So.
types of things, there's always going to be there's going to be a group of people that has a severe reaction to whatever they are pumping in you.
It's a lot higher though than
I did not.
they're admitting.
I did
to.
not. I'm in your. We're on the same team. I
Yeah.
did not get the poke.
Yeah. I mean, it turns out it's a lot worse than I even thought it was, though. You know, like when you actually look at the levels of complication and stuff like that of what occurred. But, you know, that everybody has a right to choose whatever they want.
Yeah.
That's the whole point I'm trying to get across is like, I had my reasons for
whatever
not
makes
doing
you
it.
feel safe.
Yeah, and also that doesn't mean I was going around being an anti-masker or anything like that people were worried about. I was like, or they thought I was going to vote for Trump. Like all of a sudden they were denoting certain traits. Like even now they still, some of those people, they talk to me now, but they still make like subversive jokes. They're like, oh, what are you voting for Trump? I go, I've never voted. I don't care to vote for any of these assholes. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you obviously don't know me then. Like, you don't even know what I stand for. I mean, I'm going to go vote. I may not vote on the presidential election, but I'm going to vote on the stuff that I know is important. Yeah.
Local shit.
That I think actually acknowledges my vote. So, you know, like, and that's just my personal belief. Everybody can believe in the system all they want, whatever they want to believe. I, too, used to have beliefs. So.
Used to?
Used to. I
set those down when I grew up.
Yeah, it's
when
true.
I took ayahuasca.
No, I wanted to be a political campaign manager for presidential elections in high school.
Really?
That's really what I wanted to go to school for.
Why the fuck would you want to do that to yourself?
I thought it was cool, and I thought I was going to help the country. I thought I was helping people, and then I realized it was all fucking lying. So
now you're jaded.
In my opinion, it's all a lie. So, my opinion.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, it is kind of weird that there's like one dude or one person, that's running the whole thing, and it's just like that's a lot for one person. Is that okay? Should we be having just one?
No, of course not. Yeah.
But then again, it's not. You know, it's that they're just literally just like the front man. They
have teams. Yeah, they have teams behind them. The question is, though,
it's all a popularity contest.
Yeah, I think it's way more strings being pulled that it's all appearances. But the one thing I will say, like, and this is just my opinion about Trump, I think the reason why they don't want him is because
they're fucking scared of him.
Well, I think he will only play so much to the rules.
Yeah.
He wants to create his own.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that's still good for us either, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my opinion, though. Right. That's why I'm not for or against him. Like, I'm going to let you guys all battle it out.
Yeah.
But
it could be good, it could be bad.
It's just my observation. Right. I have a different perspective of him growing up in New York City with him and my dad being in real estate in New York City.
Okay.
So let's just say we were never a fan of the Trump family.
I got you.
It had nothing to do with politics.
Mm-hmm.
But they've always had a hand. They were well-off family, and they have a lot of real estate, which gets you a lot of power.
My favorite statement was, I started this business with a small
the business
loan
of
$3 million
Yeah, I think he said $1 million or
whatever.
something. Yeah,
a small loan, huh?
But see, that's the world they live in, though. That's the thing, and I think I feel sad sometimes for his constituents in like the Midwest and stuff, because I don't think they understand that he will never think like you. Like he's not a blue collar guy.
No.
He's definitely a white collar guy, and he's a white collar gangster in my opinion.
Ooh.
Allegedly.
Whoa.
I was about to say something else, but I'll say
that's a heavy accusation.
We joke around about that because my dad, since I was a kid, always said he's always wanted to be part of the mafia. I mean, like in New York, like he would always kind of, but he's been pictured with a lot of people who are not the greatest, you know?
True.
So
he gets around.
I'm just saying these are observations. These are not facts. These are just observations.
I should have led with that, and then we could dispel
I
from
feel
saying
like you almost have to keep
disclaimers.
saying it because people clip stuff, and then they're going to just like take it out of context.
I wish somebody would clip my shit.
Well, maybe they will. Maybe I'll be your controversial.
I wish they would. I'm over here doing all the work. I'm so lazy.
Yeah.
When it comes to that.
Oh, that's.
I throw it into CapCut and hit that AI button, and it just makes the clips for me.
Oh, really?
Then I post them.
Oh, I don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
I have to I have to see if the caption is accurate. I have to make sure everything.
Well, I'll
over edit.
I'll edit the captions maybe because they're not always perfect.
Right.
But I'll and that's pretty much, and then I'll throw a little audio behind it, like a little soundtrack or something,
right,
in the background, and that's it, baby. I'm done. Upload. Get the fuck away from me.
Watch Marshall. If he's still watching, he's gonna be like, I know something to clip. I'm gonna.
I think he did actually make. I can't remember if he did or if he didn't. I don't know. Usually, because we record as well.
Right.
So I usually, if you have enough space on your phone, I usually just airdrop the whole episode to you, and you can take it, you could cut it up, do whatever the fuck you want to with it.
Okay.
I don't care. It does help me out. Just tag a motherfucker. That's all I'm saying.
Collaborate.
Hit the collaboration.
Yeah, I don't know why people don't use that more often.
I don't, because they were worried about their grid, is what I get a lot.
Yeah, but it's also...
It doesn't follow my theme of my grid, so fuck off. So.
I don't know. Like, this whole branding stuff, it's true that it does work, but, like, I think, at least for what I do as a comedian, the brand is you, right?
Right.
So, like...
Well, you're the brand tonight.
Yeah, right. For this podcast.
You're my brand tonight. Okay?
But
it's your podcast.
I feel like comedians who are popular and last is because they're themselves.
Right.
Like wherever they go, and yes, they know they have to do these clip shit and whatever, but some of them just, they have teams too. The bigger ones have teams, so they don't have to go through the bullshit.
They find the funny.
Yeah, some of them don't even look at their own social medias. They just let people, like they have a private one, and then they let people do their public, like run their public one.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I say just, you got to be yourself to get there, I think, and then somebody would be willing to.
I will never do that. I will never let someone control my.
Yeah, right.
I might, if this thing took off tomorrow, and I might hire someone to like start a fan page or something like that, and you can do whatever you want to with that shit. I don't care.
Or the marketing at least.
Yeah, definitely marketing.
Because that took, when me and Marshall did it, because I started as a TikTok, like I can't have that now with the job I have, but.
You can't have TikTok?
Can you guess who I work for?
The CIA.
Close.
The FBI.
Close.
The IRS.
The DEA?
Not even gonna say, but yeah.
Well, don't. Is it a lettered?
It's a lettered. Yeah.
It's a fucking
LGBTQ?
Yeah.
Damn it! I got it.
The one that doesn't exist on there. It's invisible. You can't even see it.
You're the plus, aren't you?
Yeah.
I knew it.
I'm more of an asterisk. I'm more of the asterisk. Yeah, exactly. No, dude. That's another thing. It's like, oh God, I don't even know if we should get back on that.
I mean, be careful.
No, it's not about being careful. It's like
you won't get me in trouble. The worst that's going to happen is they'll pull the episode and give me a timestamp, and I'll go, okay, this was offensive. I'll cut it and re-upload.
I don't think that like anything I'm saying wouldn't have been said on a comedy podcast or anything.
I think we're fine.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm trying to bring it back to something, but I didn't want to go back to the whole pronoun thing because I was like trying to get out of those waters.
You didn't like that water?
I can go into those waters.
It too murky for you?
No, it's just I know I'll go on a whole long line about it, and like I talked about it on my podcast with my friend Dr. Anna Lepley, who's also a gay comedian. So we talked about the issue.
You say doctor?
Yeah, Dr. Anna Lepley. She's a sports medicine doctor.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but she's a comedian. You should, but she may not want to talk to you because she doesn't really do anybody's podcast. Oh, just FYI, okay. She's only done mine, and she wants.
That makes sense.
She wants to do it again. I don't know what it is, why, but
maybe you both can come together. That came out wrong.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Anna,
you can join the podcast together.
We'll become scissor twins.
Whoa!
Show me your stethoscope.
It's just like my tattoo.
What?
Huh? Yeah. No, there was a thing. So we won't go back to that, but what else were you going to say?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's my whole point. I have to pee really bad, though.
Do you want to go pee?
Yeah, I do, because I think that's clouding my judgment or my thoughts.
Your thoughts.
I'm like, I realized I was crossing my legs, and I was like holding like.
Well,
eyes are turning
you remember
yellow.
Where the bathroom is?
If I go straight out here, make a left, and just go straight across,
and then to the right.
Okay. I'm not going to scare people. Just
I don't
walking
know.
out there.
Maybe.
Okay.
No,
you might get accosted by dogs licking you.
Oh, I don't care about that. Yeah, I like that.
You go pee and we'll just talk shit about you.
Okay, good. Just like my family.
Woo! Oh, hey, there's a step.
Okay.
Careful. Pull up her. Oh shit! Pull up the my Instagram.
Let's pull up your Instagram.
Yeah. I know I followed. No, I follow her. Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Hello. It's type in RED, not VD. Nope. Red hair anomaly. That's her. Yeah. So if you guys are interested in going and following her Instagram account, It is Red Hair Anomaly.
It's on the screen.
All one word. Oh, I thought I followed that. Hit the button. Make me look like a fool. I made myself look like a fool. Yeah. But
Los Rotos Dojo.
so Los Rotos Dojo is her open mic night apparently, which I will have to be. It's on what nights?
Looks
Typically.
Like, oh, that's a video.
Is it?
Sign up at 8 p.m.
10/5. Well, what was that? What day was that?
That's Lynch's Pub. All right, here we go. That was on 16th.
September 18th.
Wednesday.
Oh,
Looks like
Wednesday. Fuck. All right. Well, I guess I won't be going because now I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays. So fuck. And it's at 8:30. So damn it, that's my bedtime. If they do a weekend one, I definitely want to go out and see one. I thought that this schedule that I have now
would be more conducive.
Yeah, to being able to get out and do shit, but it's really kind of now it's starting to piss me off.
Well, Saturday, Sundays, you should be able to get out and do shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, but like I want to go see open mics, and that was one of the.
Yeah.
Remind me if I don't remember that I wanted to ask her like where, other than like Comedy Zone, like where the fuck do you see comedy?
There you go.
All over.
Oh. Everywhere. Look, it's everywhere. It's that's the best comedy. Oh.
So, are you guys?
Oh, we're showing your
no, okay. I was like, turn. I don't want to see
letting
my ugly face.
Oh, he's letting everybody see your Instagram so they can go follow you and all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, you can see that's my mic. You can that's my mic page too, Los Rotos Dojo.
Yep.
And
so you do that on Wednesday nights?
Yeah, every other Wednesday.
Follow that too.
That's why I always put the mic date up there, though. If people don't know that, then they can see the date for the next mic, so they don't get confused.
Do you guys ever do weekend stuff?
No, because I could ask Kingmaker. They do want showcases, but I don't know if I personally want to do that right now. There, it's because of their layout.
Oh,
because we used to be able to go in the warehouse. If we could still use the warehouse.
Yeah,
I would do it.
Where is this at?
It's off of King Street.
And it's called
Kingmaker Brewing. So it used to be Ard Wolf's brewery. Or Intuition. It used to be Intuition.
Okay.
Right by Bold City.
Gotcha.
It's right by Bold City. So it's Roselle and King, right around there. It's right by oh my God, what's the art district?
That one place?
The art place. What's wrong with me?
Riverside?
Yeah, but what's the art place called? Why is my brain?
The Cummer?
No. It's literally
The what?
if you go up this road, there's a whole art
district?
Yes. But it's called something.
Riverside?
Yeah, but it's called something. Cork.
What?
Cork.
Huh?
Cork district.
What?
Yeah, Cork. Sorry, my brain. I
don't get out to. There's one place that I will go in Riverside, and it's the only place I go out there because and to all my friends that live in Riverside, I love you. I love you from the deepest depths of my heart, but I
don't believe you.
fucking don't really care for the area that you live in.
In what way though? The roads or the people or just
yes.
All of it? I mean, I don't anymore either.
Except for my friends.
I used to love it.
Didn't you follow that already?
Yeah, I did.
Why is it not updating?
Oh, look at that. Is this what's
I
happening?
followed it earlier today, and then it was showing not followed.
I just followed it again.
Listen, I keep losing people. I don't know. I'll post something and lose followers, and I laugh because I'm just like, so should I not engage? So nobody remembers they followed me.
I got on my Instagram earlier.
Yeah, follow her.
When I was
like, ew.
I got on my Instagram earlier when I was looking for your Instagram, and I saw that you followed me, and I was like, oh, follow back.
Yeah, I asked Marshall so I can make sure.
And then whenever he opened this up, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm not following her?
See, that's my buddy Jack Putnam. He sometimes helps me if I have a showcase.
Boy.
Yeah, if you go to his tag reels. Oh, actually, that reel. That's my one I did for him when he was hosting Los Rotos Dojo for me.
Dope.
Yeah.
How come you don't have a lot of like video clips of you up here? Does nobody record you?
No, and I don't record myself, which is part of the problem. I have stuff. I just not like I have some sets that I haven't posted. I also have a roast battle I haven't posted, which I'll probably get to editing that one. I'll post it. It's just a few years old.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at the time, I went through a lot of stuff personally, so I was like kind of in and out, having to like post like maybe go to comedy once a week. Maybe, you know, I was working a couple of jobs. I was going to school, like,
Holy shit.
because I quit my corporate job. And then I went and got my certificate. I went to a boot camp and I got my UX UI designer certificate. And then I got this technical writing job. But in the meantime, I was like working at Starbucks. Like I went from being a manager at a bank to working at Starbucks. It's because I lost all my network. I have 20 years in corporate America, and I just said, you know what? My kid's old enough now. I don't need to do this bullshit anymore. The pandemic killed me.
It
was literally killing me. Like literally, I went to the hospital. Like I lost 20 pounds in a month. I was like severely stressed out because we were open still. Everybody
Apparently
was
that's
closed.
good for you, though.
The stress?
No, the losing the weights.
Losing the weight?
Yeah.
I lost all my ass. It was all muscle.
Me too.
It's coming back now, though. My ass is getting fatter now. But you guys got to imagine, like, my ass was pretty fat before
All
2000.
right, Jenny from the block.
2020. Listen, for a white chick, I was pretty proud of it. Proud of it.
I've seen some white girls with the. Well, I mean,
that's because we learned
did you
how to
see my
deadlift.
girlfriend?
Yeah, we start deadlifting.
Did you see what's in there?
Yeah.
She's got all the ass.
She got that trunk. Yeah.
God bless her.
I know. Good for you, dude. I want a dump truck. I want a dump truck, but mine will never be a dump truck. I look at my mom's ass and I go, I definitely have my dad's ass. Like my mom, complete flat for a Latin girl. Nothing there, dude.
Really?
Nothing. All her sisters. My mom's one of 14.
Whoa.
Wow.
Same
Somebody
parents.
was getting busy.
Yeah, Catholicism, baby.
Wow.
Catholicism, no birth control,
Yeah.
and a drunk husband. Yeah.
Nice.
I probably shouldn't have said that. I hope none of my family's watching that.
Don't worry. There's only like
Well,
5
they're
people
all
that
dead.
watch this.
They're all dead, but they're still sensitive, you know?
Yeah.
Like in the Latin community, if somebody dies, all of a sudden they're like una santo, like they're a saint.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, they were a horrible fucking person.
Right.
Like, it's okay to admit that.
Who are you lying to?
Yeah, like I was
Me
like,
or yourself?
yeah. Anyway, but I never met the guy, so I don't know him. But I met my grandmother before she died.
Yeah.
She was mean too.
Yeah.
She was mean to my mom. Yeah, that's why my mom's mean to me. Is it on? Oh.
No, I was just
Oh.
looking. Is that one of those Pac-Man ghosts?
Yeah, it's just a pack. I just got this thing today. I don't even know. Like,
Just give me something. I need something.
Exactly. But yeah, my mom is just she always took care of her mom, and I kind of did the same thing, and she just was mistreated, my mom, and then my mom does the same thing to me.
Yeah.
So it's all right. I broke the curse with my daughter. My daughter's
good.
not my caretaker. She's none of that. And I made sure my mom wouldn't try to train, because my mom tried to train her to be one too. And I was like, I would cut her off. I was like, she's a child. What do you need help with?
Right.
She's 7 years old.
Yeah,
She doesn't need to be helping you carry all these. My mom's crazy, dude. She's just, anyway. And now my daughter's 22.
I'm trying to groom my children to be my caretaker.
Well, my daughter will. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you want them to want to do it.
Yeah.
You don't want to make them feel like it's an obligation.
Cat's out of the bag.
Yeah. So, like with my mom, I wanted her love. So I always tried.
Thought that was the way to get it.
Yeah, and she's been diabetic my whole life. She got it through pregnancy. She became diabetic after my sister, insulin dependent. So like I was always worried about it because she would do weird stuff when your insulin's low or whatever. Like she would it would be like somebody who's like losing their mind kind of.
Yeah, you're not in your right mind.
Yeah, you're not. And so I think, I'm going to go with her, make sure she's taking her insulin right or she's eating when she needs to. I've been doing that since I was little. Then my daughter comes into the picture after I haven't lived with my mom for years or whatever, but my mom's like, you can stay with us because she knew I was a young mom. You can go to college. I'll help watch her or whatever. Yeah. But then my mom was trying to train her to I need this. And I was like, no, you need to pay attention to your sugar better. That's not her fault.
Right.
All of a sudden my New York accent comes out real bad when I'm getting.
It does. You get into that. I can hear
it's
it.
also when I get older, I'm getting older and I'm getting lazy. I realize my tongue's getting lazy. I didn't know. And I look at VHS tapes of me when I was a kid, and my accent was really bad. It was
thick.
like a Long Island accent.
See, I have a...
Long Island, like that accent.
Yeah.
Like, can I get a cup of water? I want a quarter. That's how it used to sound, guys. It was bad.
I like it.
No.
It's good.
Dude, you know, my ex said if I had sounded like that, he's like, we would have never talked. We would've
Really?
yeah, that's what he said.
Huh.
He's a Southern boy, too, from
I
Middleburg.
whoa.
Yeah.
Ew.
Ew. Trailer and everything, dude.
I like accents. It's interesting. It's almost like eating spicy food. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like food that's been seasoned properly or differently. Because, you know, if you're used to just eating fried chicken all the time, but then you
Right.
get that spicy fried chicken, it's a little bit better.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I actually like some Southern accents
interesting.
too. I like the Georgia accent. I love that accent. Something about Georgia's accent, so sweet Southern, like a sweet.
My granddad was from Georgia, and like I grew up with a pretty thick accent, and people would ask me, "Were you from Georgia, boy?" I'm like, "No, I'm from fucking Jacksonville." But I have been trying my entire life to like
Get rid of it.
hide my redneck past.
Well, it's funny. My ex, when he would, I'd only hear his accent come out when he talked to other real Southern people.
Oh yeah, you can't. There's no hiding it. Then.
Yeah, I mean, there's parts of him though that are still Southern, true and true. Like he's real good with the sweet nothings. Like to anybody though, he'd be like, "All right, muffin." Like he knows how to. He's like, "Oh, look at that little piglet." Like the way he does things,
Yeah.
I'm just like, I realized I started talking like that too with people because
calling people sweetheart.
Yeah, like. Or he'll say bub a lot. He loves
come
calling
here,
people,
baby.
Yeah, he loves calling people bub, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
but it doesn't feel special anymore when everybody knows you're telling it to everybody.
Yeah.
Well, no, see, I'm the only one who knew he was doing that. I don't
Yeah.
think everybody else does, though. But I was like, I don't feel special
You
anymore.
were the inside
Don't call
circle.
me a muffin if you're calling this other person a muffin.
Oh, yeah, but you're a special muffin. One that he definitely wants to. Never mind. Put it in his mouth. I have to finish. When I say never mind, because I'm like, nope, don't finish that, and then I have to finish it. I don't know.
Like, even in that context, still inappropriate the way you set it up.
Oh.
It still sounded like you're trying to finish something.
Nope. That's exactly what I was doing. I was being naughty. My brain it's the man brain, I think.
I just noticed, I've been staring at this Funko Pop yourself, and I was like, wait, did you buy that for yourself, or did somebody
Yeah.
give it to you?
No, I did.
Oh, really?
I made it. I made one for my girlfriend too.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
I never understood, like,
The Funko Pop craze.
yeah, but
I don't either.
But I have seen cute stuff of, like, you know, I like Inuyasha, like these weird
Yeah.
animes.
I got a Deadpool one over there.
Yeah.
But I got this. I was like just fucking around with it, and I was like, let me see what it looks like when I get done. So I had it done, and then I was like, that's kind of cool. And so I got her one made and gave it to her for, I don't remember, it was like her birthday or Christmas or something. But and I was like, when I get real famous, when the Graybeard podcast takes off, I'm gonna, you know,
Delusions for everybody, bro.
Sign
Let's go.
I'll sign this with my chicken scratch signature, and someone will get that, and then they'll be like, "Oh my god!"
It is pretty cool, though. I mean, I know my daughter likes those kind of things.
Yeah, I can't handle that joke.
What is that?
It's a handle.
Oh,
Prop comedy.
I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was like gonna be a taser. I don't know why.
I did that to somebody else. And they're like, "Is that fucking
Yeah.
pepper spray?" I'm like, "No,
I was like, oh, are we getting tased today? Let's
no.
do it.
I need to stop. I'm trying to show off for you, and I'm not. It's not working."
Oh my god, I feel so bad because like a lot of people who don't do comedy, they want to be more funny around us, and it's like, don't do that. Just be yourselves, because like that's really more funny
Yeah.
sometimes. But
You can't help it. It's a little bit infectious.
yeah, and I do think though what they don't realize is like, just because I don't laugh doesn't mean I didn't think it was funny. It's just not. Maybe it wasn't like a ha laugh for me.
Situational too.
Yeah, situational. But also, I'm so used to talking to men that I sometimes do a mom thing where I hear you, but I just move forward.
Right.
Because I'm so used to men always taking the stage. So
So
I know that if I'm in the middle of something, sometimes I could be in a group of men. I'm saying something. Each comic has their own sense. They'll throw something out.
Zingers.
So you can acknowledge it by like, haha, but keep moving. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't, then we drag each other down. We never get to
Right.
the end of the story because we're too busy doing bits with each other.
Right.
We just keep tagging everybody into the bit somehow.
Mm-hmm.
And
Does that help with your writing sometimes?
yes, yeah, I would say communing with the comics helps for sure. Like just hanging out with them
Mm-hmm.
because we could be talking about anything, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, that's a premise, that's a bit. I got to write this down. I got to make sure I write this out.
Yeah.
And then also we workshop our jokes with each other.
Yeah.
So like if I have
If you don't have a crowd.
right, well, yeah, well we do it before it starts. Like
Okay.
so like or we wait to like if we have a list and we know when we're going up, we'll sit outside and just talk to each other. But like I've been working on this joke. I've only said it one time. I need to really work because I don't like what I've already done with it. So,
Okay.
But I brought it up to the comics and I go, okay, this is what I got, and I'm trying to figure out where to go with this joke. But you have to know as a comic, what are you trying to do with the joke, right? So if I don't even know where I'm trying to go, like what is the real? Because the joke I'm working on could either be about my age or being about single at my age.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm just gonna go with the age part, not the including single. Like.
Yeah.
And that's where the relatable stuff can come in. Like, I can include single stuff.
I don't know. There's a lot of crazy shit with single people.
They're nuts.
Being single.
No, I know. And
the
I don't want to be
dating
part
apps.
of it. I don't even want to acknowledge that I am now. Because,
Well, you just did.
no, I know. Because
To
I'm not,
5
because
people.
I'm not
Send her
crazy.
those dick pics.
No dick pics, dude.
Look
No,
at it did it
titty
again.
pics. You can send me titty pics all
See?
day.
Yeah,
Did
son.
it
do
again.
What the fuck?
Refresh it. Let's just see if it's like signing you out, maybe.
To the
Just
left.
refresh it. Yeah.
Yeah. See?
I don't fucking know.
It's whatever. So you can reach her at Red Hair Anomaly. Send her a message. She's asking for those dick pics.
No dick pics.
Are you trying
Again,
to...
no
Is my head
dick
cut off?
pics.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Please, no solicited dick pics. I will let you know. I will share them.
Unsolicited?
Yeah, no, if
Any dick pic is unsolicited.
no,
Well,
there
not
could be
a- okay,
solicited
okay, you're
ones.
right.
Okay, I'm
Sorry.
not a prude, but if I have not solicited you for one, don't send me anything.
I saw this lady today. I wish I remember her name, but my girlfriend sent me this video. This is what she does when she's on her lunch break. She sends me all the fucking videos and stuff. But this lady had a guitar, and she was a comedian, and she was talking about all the shit she saw and the ladies, how the contrast between the women's bathroom and the men's bathroom and the
Right.
shit that's written in the stalls.
Yes.
And the women's bathroom was like all, positive and uplifting and stuff like that. And then the men's bathroom, it was just dick pics, like drawn
Yeah.
dicks. And she's like, please, if you're going to send dick pics, please make sure they're illustrated.
That would actually be so much better. You can send me an illustrated one.
Yeah,
For sure, an illustrated.
for sure.
Even an oil painting of one, I would
Oh.
prefer.
Yeah, that's creative.
Yeah,
I like that.
the artistic aspect of it, where somebody put some effort into creating something. Sure,
Yeah.
I don't want any digital art.
Hmm.
Anything camera based.
Yeah.
None of it.
It's no good. Because
You can even send me a clay model.
the problem with dick
I'll be
pics
okay
is
with
there's
that.
no real good way to take the picture. And every dude wants to try and make it look as big as they possibly can. So they put that wide angle on and it looks like a fucking monolith. And we all know it's not, fella.
So
I'm guilty.
It's like holding up a fish.
So the same friend that I told you with the Nokia brick phone, she had on there, you used to be able to keep files. And she had on there, because it was old school, right? She had on there a file folder that said dicks. And I go,
Nice.
on
On a Nokia?
a Nokia, you could put them in
I never had
because they were
one of
sent
those.
as attachments back in the day in
Okay.
Texas. So you can save the attachment. So save the attachment. So she literally created a whole file full of these dick pics. And I go, why are you collecting these? And she goes, why are they sending them? And I go, good fucking point.
Yeah.
I was like, good point. And turns out a lot of our friends were sending her pics I had no idea about. And
Nice.
but then we were able to go, okay, didn't know that's what you were
I
working
see,
with,
yeah.
guy. You should be a little more confident. You
Yeah.
should be a little more confident. Others should not even have the confidence to send the pics, but you do anyways. And
Yep.
but yeah, no, yeah.
There's there's a thing. It's like I don't know if it's like the law of averages or something like that, but like if you send enough, somebody is eventually going to go, I like it.
See, and here's where I think that is. Oh my God! I thought that was my cat. My
No,
brain.
that was her daughter.
I know, but my brain immediately goes, "My cat needs me." Like my cat.
The cat needs me.
I'm not a human mother anymore. I'm now a cat mother. Mother of cats. So, what was I saying? Oh,
Dicks.
yeah. But what
Dicks.
about the dick pics?
Uh,
I talked about her having a collection of them. Talked about
guys that shouldn't.
this is the ADHD.
Yeah.
ADHD just
Damn,
like
even
just
I
ran in.
lost it.
I know, dude. We all
Rewind the
did.
tape. No, just kidding.
But anyway, the whole point is, what was the whole point of this?
I don't know.
I don't want to.
Don't
I don't
send-
want a dick pic.
Don't send actual pictures of dicks. Send illustrated pictures of dicks if you're going to send anything.
Oh, I just realized you can't see those emojis
Which
next to my name.
No, you
It
can't.
says the state, the country though. It puts the country initials.
What are you talking about?
Because on there, when you look at my page, if you were on the app, you'd see an American flag and a Chilean flag.
Aha.
Yeah.
I used to have the Sicilian one, but it looked Mexican, and I was like, I don't think people realize it's the old school Sicilian flag.
If we were looking,
so I was like,
that's PC. If we were looking at a Mac, you probably would see it.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say.
Notice I have both.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, isn't
It's
that
a blended family.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay.
Well, I only bought that specifically for the stream. It doesn't do anything.
Oh, okay.
But I just use it to stream. I don't do anything else with it. But that one I built for editing.
Oh yeah.
But
You
I
need
don't know if you've
another
ever
one?
built a computer, but like you put all this hardware in, you're like, I bought the best shit ever, and then you're like, all right, and then everything crashes, and you're like, what the fuck? And they're like, your friend goes, hey, well, you got all this really, high
of RAM.
Yeah, you need all this stuff, but you don't have this. This is where you're bottlenecking, bro.
Right.
I'm like, there's no fucking bottleneck with Apple. Everything just works.
It's very true.
I fucking hate PCs.
My brother, he used to build them, and he would get paid a lot to do it because he knew exactly how to.
Is he in Jacksonville?
No, he's in Portland.
Well,
that's the same guy I told you. He's an audio engineer, and
That's right.
So my brother, he actually the reason
I need a tech.
the reason why he got into the business is because he was building pedals for people, and like he was in magazines, and they were called boutique pedals because he would paint them, like, so it was like
You talking about guitar pedals?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
anything, loopers, amplifiers,
Oh, dope.
it doesn't matter. You
Yeah,
could
yeah.
use it with keyboards, but it doesn't matter. Anything. He could have attached it to this thing and loop a sound even though you have the
Well,
availability.
Black Magic, like the controller that he's using to switch the cameras, they have a pedal version, but it's only 2 channels, so you can only do 2 cameras, but you can sit it on the ground and go left,
yeah.
right. Yeah. So I guess if you're a solo guy you want to do multi-camera shot,
Yeah, so my brother, he got popular at that, but then he realized the money was in the parts.
Oh.
And this was early 2006, I think. So he messaged me and he's like, hey, I think I have a business opportunity. He had just moved to Brooklyn.
I need a loan of $1 million
Back home. No, he wanted my opinion on
Small
it.
family loan.
And basically he's like, I think I found a forum where I think I found a manufacturer or whatever. And he's like, and I think I can get a deal with these people in China for these parts. Because because you would have to go to another country to get it, to this country to get, and he finally found the direct distributor.
Yeah.
So I said, well, try it, see what happens. He grossed over $100,000 in 1 year, the first year he did it.
So he just gets the parts and sells the parts?
Just sells the parts. The parts are the most money.
Yeah.
Building the pedal was not logistically over time, just cost more money for him, more time. So that was more money.
Yeah.
So if he could minimize the time, then he can maximize the money. And he did that.
Smart man.
Yeah, got it from my father. That's where we get it. And then on top of it, my brother still produces music, still does all that stuff. I think he put out another album. Like, my brother has put out like 10, 11
Dope.
albums.
That's fucking so cool, man.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think it's still called Fourth Grade Gladiators, or it used
That's
to
the
be
band
called
name?
that. Yeah, it used to be called that.
Fourth grade gladiator.
He may have
They've been
changed-
playing for a long time.
Yeah, he may have changed it. Actually, let me make sure because I don't want to say
I'm
something
about to
that
look it up right now.
his name's Lawrence Scaduto.
Let me not go to Instagram.
I don't know if his band. Let's see. He wanted to ask me about the album. So that's his album cover he sent me that for the new one. He was asking me if he should do that. That's my brother in the 90s though, in our old place. But you see how dark he is compared to me though? And his hair's bleach blonde. That, by the way, that's not.
Yeah. I had done that when I was a kid too. Nope, you spelled it wrong.
Did I?
Yeah.
Lawrence?
What is he calling it? LAWR. That's my father.
Oh.
That's your dad?
Yeah, that's my father. And it is SCA.
SCA.
Yeah.
Was your brother's name Lawrence as well?
Yeah,
Junior?
yeah. No, he's not a junior.
Oh, okay.
But I'm surprised my dad's going by the seat because we call him Larry. That's why I was like, why are you going by? Scroll down though, you may see my brother. You know what you should put in? Put in
Fourth grade gladiators.
go to Instagram and put in his Instagram, which I think it is Lost Scaduto, but
For those that are just listening
Lawrence Scaduto
to
is
the
his
podcast,
Instagram,
we
yeah.
are Googling her brother right now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, no, it's fine.
He's also like.
I just like to give that little.
So there's my brother.
Oh, cool.
That's obviously.
Oh, it's private.
Oh, we're gonna follow him.
Dang it, Larry.
He's got a
but his
private
shopping
account.
biz,
Yeah,
that's
there we
probably his. Yeah, I think this is Local Teen. Okay, so he's changed it to Local Teen.
Okay.
But
Is that one of his songs?
yeah.
Now,
Use a hoe. I like that.
Oh
one.
yeah, that's us. My brother and my sister and I did that. Did he? Is that really number 2?
Yeah.
We should listen to it.
now
You can hear
I don't
us.
know.
We
the
sample
problem I have
your mama, your
Copyright.
daddy's, your
Copyright
sister's
shit.
a hoe.
is he
I
on
don't
some
think
kind of
it's-
label
Use a hoe
or
song.
anything?
No. I don't know if it's
I don't
copyrighted.
think I can listen. Wait.
Yeah, you can go back
Culo
up to.
sucio, ¿tú sabes qué es eso? You guys know what that is?
I'm sorry, what?
I know, I just spoke Spanish too. Culo sucio just means dirty ass.
Oh,
I know.
I heard
Mami
culo.
Grande.
Send the girls. What are we looking for?
Use a hoe.
I don't see it.
I
on
think
here.
he does talk about. This is funny. I found an earlier version, spent months on it, then towards the end, Robert. I wonder if he talks about use a hoe. I don't know. I have to see if that's the same
I don't see
song.
the song in there though.
Lower middle life class just isn't romantic. I love that line.
Oh, my brother, he wrote this one thing one night. It says, before I was born, I saw God. And I kept it with me this whole time. And he goes, he saw it written out. Like I had it written somewhere. He goes, oh, that's really neat. And I go, you said that. You wrote that. And he goes, I did. And I go, yeah, you asshole. You wrote it probably in a drunken stupor one night, but you wrote it. And he goes, oh, pretty
Good
prolific.
kid, bad family.
Yeah, exactly.
Dick in your mouth.
Yeah, that's what this is. All right, and then we can show you my other sister who is on, who is.
Well, don't close it. I wanted
Oh,
to hear
shit, sorry.
some of that music, fella.
Oops.
Oh, my brother would love that.
Let's play some of that music.
It's
There we
he's
go.
the
he's
song
very
that we're Use a Hoe is not on there.
He's very influenced
down-
by pop and punk.
Go down to the Dick in Your Mouth song. That's what I want to hear.
I think it was off the album "Dick in Your Mouth."
Oh, was that what it was? What did that say? Oh, there you go.
Yeah, falsely accused. Okay, right here. Oh, hold on.
You'll have to.
Turn this up
Crank
real
it.
quick. I'm gonna crank that bitch up.
I feel like there's some editing. I don't know if that's intentional. It says pure Republican ego boosting. Is that like RuPaul? I'm gonna have to ask my brother. See, I see those little edits sometimes real fast because of what I do. So like with the technical writing, like my students when I used to, because I was helping teach too for UX UI design, and I hate when I look at their projects and there's like random misspellings because I'm like, that's the least thing that should be in your project. Like, this is all by himself too.
What's it gonna take for you to wanna do it? Is there a secret right there already to hypnotize you? Is it your sister? Has she been saying not to do it? I won't make you, 'cause I'm a feminist, plus I can't.
Since we were kids, we used to produce music in our like rooms and everything.
I just want to feel like you want me to.
So yeah, we have been doing this since we were little kids, and now my sister does it professionally, and her band is called Sextile. So that
I may have to look that up too. But she's probably got a little. If she's touring and shit, she's definitely got a label.
oh, she's in a label.
So
yeah.
we have to be very careful.
Can I
with
look
her.
her up on
Yeah, of course. I have a video I put together, but I can't remember. I may have her music. Sextile.
Sextile.
Yeah,
No S at the end.
right there. Sextile.
There we go.
That is my sister's now.
For sure. Follow it. Follow it.
That's my sister right there at the bottom right, though. See, that's
Right
her.
Aha.
Nice.
I see the resemblance. Y'all have the same eyes.
Right here. That's my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She looks a lot like my mom, though, now. So, but you see how my brother and her are a little bit more same coloring
Is that
and stuff.
their band?
Yeah, that's in France though. They were playing in France.
Wow.
That's fucking badass.
Yeah, she's. Look, see, that's the guy from. Look who that is.
That guy?
Yeah. Do you guys know who he is?
Fucking Ed Sheeran.
Danny Elfman, guys. Danny
Oh.
Elfman.
Very cool.
Yes. So she just recorded a song with him.
Nice.
Somebody else told me he was like going through something, and I was like, I don't want to know.
Going through something?
Yeah, some alleged stuff. I was like, everything's happening with everybody, dude.
Well, if he's involved with P. Diddy,
Oh well.
he's going through some baby oil.
Let me get one of those. Hey, I like that shirt.
Yeah, it looks familiar.
Yeah.
Do they have
Maximum
did they
respect, maximum
sell
team.
merch on this page?
Oh yeah, my sister designs all the merch.
I may have to get me a sex style shirt.
Yeah. So my sister designs all of it, and
This is set up for a
Mobile.
it's set up for your phone.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's programmed for that specifically.
See, it did you okay? Just hit refresh. So I know he followed it. There we go. I will go on later this evening and
Yeah, her music is also very more electronic, like very influenced by Depeche Mode.
okay.
So you're going to be because you're going from pop punk, like my brother's like poppy punk
Yeah.
kind of stuff, and hers is more like. I mean, even though we're so influenced by different music, I would say it's more. She's probably going to kill me if I say this wrong, but electronic, industrial kind of.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also kind of 80s pop, like with
Yeah.
the. But we were heavily influenced by Depeche Mode, The Cure, The Smiths.
Sure.
All of those guys. So, but then we were also punk rockers. So it's like, I don't know. I think having a family that with multiple cultures helped us too with music, because then we all also had Latin music as a reference and an influence in how we listen to music.
Yeah.
So, and my sister and I are also, and my brother, we love hip hop. Like
Oh,
people
really?
are shocked how much we listen to it, because they may assume, oh, we're rock and rollers or
Right.
whatever with the tattoos. But like my best friend, she was with her wife, and I was meeting them somewhere, and I guess I had like 3 6 Mafia on or something, and I was just jamming out to an old beat because it's just fun sometimes. And I guess her wife was like, "Oh, somebody's enjoying that," and my friend looks to her wife and was like, "Oh, that's Vanessa. She's here. I told you she's coming." And she was right. It was mine.
I don't know
Off
if
you.
it's just me, but like your brother's that song we were just listening to, it like had Napoleon Dynamite. Like it just
Oh,
seemed like
yeah.
it should have been in that
Yeah.
that movie.
It sounds like an action song too, right? Like with some like funness
Yeah.
to it or something. Yeah, I could see.
I
it.
hope that's like a compliment. Not I meant that as a compliment.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a compliment. My brother actually used to make jingles.
Yeah.
He did work. He.
I just feel like it would have been on the soundtrack for that movie.
Like
Yeah.
Nacho Libre.
Yeah, he did. He worked for a company where that's all he did actually was
That's cool.
make music for. But he got tired of that, and then he
Yeah.
was making money with the pedals, and then that just transformed into his job.
Yeah.
Like actually, you can go to his business one, the Love My Switches, on Instagram. I was gonna say on Instagram, and
Instagram.
because it will just have the link to everything.
Second one
Hello.
down. Second one down.
Hello, look at what are you watching there?
Wow. Not my Instagram.
Some algorithm there, huh?
Yeah.
But that's it.
Yeah, it's
There's my brother now, so that's him now.
Nice.
my Instagram is not worse than my Twitter, put it that way.
But you see how he says he talks about actually how much he makes, or what he's doing now. Because they just bought a new building,
100,000
and
orders shipped. Good job.
there's my niece. I mean, this is amazing though. He took that and ran with it, and he's
That's
had
so
it.
yeah, that's
I
very
mean,
cool.
his wife, that's my sister-in-law. She actually quit her job. She was a head copywriter too for DK Books in New York
Okay.
City. Like she's a copywriter initially, editor, smart girl, and now they work together because she does a lot now more with the website marketing. Now he doesn't have to worry about as much. He still influences it, but
Yeah, that's always been my shortcoming.
you see all those pedal parts. That's all they sell.
That's dope.
But it's just the fact that they sell unique like switches and stuff that you wouldn't find on a traditional pedal.
If you buy one of those, you're probably a standout.
Yeah. And that's what happens too. My brother loves, though, he really does love providing this to musicians because he loves seeing what they come up with. My brother wants to see
see it used.
Yeah, he likes seeing what people come up with and create, and
Right.
and he loves that they tag the company in it, and he'll always share people's work.
No, that's
so
good.
yeah, so
That's
anyway,
really cool.
I know we started to wind this down. I didn't know how long.
Oh, I don't care, dude. Like, we'll go forever. I mean, I don't care.
I was like, damn. Oh, something's happening on that phone. It says something Hotmail
Oh, yeah.
or password account.
Yeah, it's just,
Okay.
I need
I
to
didn't know
update
if
my
it stops.
password.
I didn't know if it stops your
Hotmail.
recording.
Hotmail.
That's
That was
still
my
there.
very first email address that I
Yes.
ever had was on a Hotmail.
Me too.
And it's just basically for spam and shit now.
Right.
I don't ever use it. But yeah, they wanted me to update the password. I don't fucking update that shit.
I always have to remind myself to go back in there, and then I have to like reestablish. They always tell me to reestablish stuff, like to make sure it's me, and I'm like,
I don't fucking remember.
yeah.
What was your first car or whatever?
Well, I
the fuck
can't get
the
into
test
my
questions
original
are.
Gmail, and that has access to my Apple ID.
Ooh.
And I've
shit.
emailed Gmail. I've done. I mean, nobody else, and I can't get into it. Somebody tried to hack into it, and then I changed the password.
If you just leaned a little more left, they'd let you right in.
Yeah, but it's. I really wish I still knew people who worked at Google so I could get my account back.
Yeah. I wish I knew somebody that worked at YouTube.
Yeah.
I
Anybody?
don't. Fuck
Anybody
those
out there?
communists.
No, I mean, it would
I don't
be
know if
dope.
they're communists. I just think they're
I-
whoever's in power is they're going to be the right hand man. I mean,
There
it's
should be
just-
no hand on the pulse.
I mean, I just think it used to be like a last Sebastian of like watching people just randomly do stuff, and now
Yeah.
it's
Well, when people started monetizing things, it got weird
Mm-hmm.
because it no longer became about.
like vlogs and like talking
Yeah, it was
about
no longer about like people being
Creativity.
creative. It was
Yeah.
just like how
How can we make money?
How
They
can I
corporatized
game
it.
the algorithm this time? You know, what can I say in this video that will strike the most points and get
Right.
me the most views and what the clickbait titles and shit like that. I don't do any of that.
Right.
I'm so like what the algorithm hates. I am.
But see, I think there's a way of minimalizing things where it could still get looks,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like it doesn't. Also, I would say this to market managers too, because as a UX UI designer, we study their demographic. Like we tell them what features they need to change in their app or on their website or whatever, because we actually listen to their demographic, right? So the person may think, oh, my demographic's this, but then we go and ask the questions, we find out your demographic isn't that actually. This is
Right.
who they are, and this is what they actually want and need.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're willing to do it, they're willing to pay for it.
Right.
Vice versa, I think that goes with content.
Mm-hmm.
So like if people need this is a great setup, right? You honestly,
Thank
you
you.
probably don't need more than this, right? Like, could you do more?
Yeah, I'd
you
love
could
to.
always do more.
Well,
right? Like,
my thing, all I want is to be able to. I want to make a little money, just enough to where I could like actually rent a place that's like central to Jacksonville,
right.
maybe somewhere near Mandarin. You know, and just be able to have a studio there at a
Right.
place so that people aren't coming to my home.
All the way
Because
here.
you're cool.
Yeah, but
and
you don't know.
Everybody else that I've talked to is cool, thank God.
Right.
But yeah, I could meet someone, you know, because I'm starting to get people are starting to, you know, email me and message me, on Instagram or wherever, wanting to get in, and I'm like, I gotta give me a minute. I gotta like watch you for a minute because if you're
Yeah.
not, my people live here, you know.
Listen, I totally get it. It is, you are risking a lot
Yeah.
by giving, because also you're introducing them to what's in the studio,
Right. Mm-hmm.
what's in your home, and there's other people involved in it. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like that's, even when we filmed.
We are armed, however.
Yes, this is Florida, and
around and
everybody
find
is
out.
fuck around and find out here, because we still bear arms, dude.
That's right. I'll give you a new lead heart.
Like even my mom, like that kind of goes back to the amendments, because like I used to be like really hesitant with guns. Like I was on a sharpshooting team and stuff. I know how to use them. Not everybody does though, is my issue. Like the people like driving around with it loose in your car, and then your 2-year-old shoots you. You know,
Right.
like you know, those are the people that screwed up for all the people who are doing
Right.
things safely. But now I am more pro that amendment than I have ever been, based off of everything that's happened in the last several years. I just think there's ways we can go about it differently, because I'm more like, I'm a passive pro person about the things I believe in. Like, I'm not angry.
You're
like
not out on the
where they're
street
like,
corner.
you blood-hating liberal. I'm like, dude, relax, all right? These guys mean well just like you mean well.
Right.
I think the problem is you're allowing everybody to get in your heads with, points of things they want to make, instead of just saying, hey, I'm human, you're human. You want to keep
Yeah.
your family safe. Both of you want to keep your family safe. You just want to do it in a different way.
Yeah, when emotions enter the chat, rational thought exits the chat.
Yeah. It's just crazy to me, though, because I feel like those actual amendments were pretty basic ones that I think should stick around.
They're good.
I think they're really fundamentally.
I think they're. I think
Yeah, how are they fucking crazy?
it's crazy to think about, like, all those years ago that these guys came up with something that would last this long, and it's almost like it's like someone on that team that was coming up with all those amendments and everything was like, this is how it's going to change throughout the years. This is how it's going to progress, and these will be able to progress with them.
Right.
And you start changing too much stuff, and it's not going to be.
Well, remember, these were men that just overthrew a whole government, basically.
Yeah.
So
mean,
they kind of knew, or were able to forecast what should stay and what shouldn't.
Right. I mean, their amendments are made for a reason, right? Well, obviously, times will change, but there's certain things I think that are fundamentally true throughout all time, right?
Right.
Which is freedom of speech and freedom to protect yourself, right? So, like, because that is part of freedom. I feel like they're all together. Like, that is part of freedom of speech. Is that's how you also protect yourself, is by speaking up and speaking out.
And it's what makes America great.
Well, that also includes assemblies, though. Like, I don't like when, like, specifically, I want to be so
Say it.
casual about, or cautious about this.
Don't worry about it.
Well, no, only because people make assumptions. Just because I say, hey, I actually appreciated how DeSantis ran things during the pandemic, thinking I'm a DeSantis supporter. No,
Sure,
it's just
sure.
acknowledging some things that he did well. I find it weird that people, you can not like somebody and still acknowledge their achievements, right?
Right.
Like, where do we go away from that?
What do you mean you're not part of a tribe?
So anyway, back
It's
to
the tribalism. Is
Yeah,
what- yeah.
so DeSantis, I liked how he handled the pandemic. What I didn't like is how he handled freedom of assembly. I think that is actually opposite of what they say the conservatives wants, which is
Right.
more in government involvement. When you're trying to tell me we can't assemble now,
Right.
what are you afraid of? Like, and really, that's my issue with it. And at the time, I get it. There was riots going on, things going on. I mean, my best friend was on boots on the ground. Now she's a detective, but she was on the beat then, so she was called in. Plus, she's specially trained for SWAT and all this stuff.
Right.
And then on top of it, she's also in the reserves. So she was going to be called either way, whatever it is. She's officer in the Navy too. So it's like, so I have friends that I know are trying to do right on this side, and I know I have friends that are trying to do right on this side. But taking away our rights is what I'm saying is that even my friend who's an officer agrees, like, no right should be
Yeah.
But
100%.
but if you fuck around and find out, you're gonna find out, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you start throwing bricks at people.
Oh, yeah.
So,
But- I mean, peaceful protesting is good.
Oh yeah,
but-
100% good. I think it's necessary.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then you get that agent provocateur that Alex Jones told us about.
Well, I think that is
That's a real thing.
Yeah, I think it's intentional.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's on both sides, by the way. I don't.
yeah.
I don't think it's just one side is.
What are they
doing
talking
it.
about? We don't like that. Go fucking smash some windows.
They'll make them
and
look bad.
Yeah.
Shut this shit down.
Allegedly, obviously, right?
Allegedly.
Yeah. Well, this is just our opinions. We don't know this to be
Yeah.
true.
I
We
hated
just.
that I had to say that.
I know, but I just want to make sure people understand that this is all hypothetical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wish that we could just say whatever. You know what? I'm a fucking dumbass. Okay. I'm not smart, and I say dumb shit out my mouth. And I mean, I don't mean anything by it.
Right.
Half the time, the things I'm saying are like nonsensical, and it's just, it's like,
You should hang out with comics then, because
I probably should. I might get along and might get, over my fear of stage, and, because it is that I would rather do that than jump out of an airplane.
Yeah.
I know those two things are completely polar opposites, but like how some people are like, I have a goal that one day I'm going to jump out of an airplane so I can get over my fears. And I'm like, well, but I don't ever want to jump out of a perfectly good airplane. Fuck all that noise.
Right.
Unless that bitch is upside down and on fire, I ain't jumping out. But,
I've thought about it, but I'm still worried about that.
why?
Well, that's as I get older, that I have more to lose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got a good life, man. Don't
But
throw it away.
But do I? No.
I mean, I'm assuming.
But do I? No.
But yeah, I mean, but like that would be my thing. That would be my jumping out of a plane would be standing up in front of people and like trying to make them laugh. You know,
Yeah, I find that
scares the balls off of me.
not me.
jumping out
I
of a
even
plane
force
while-
myself. Like I told the New
My
York comics,
palms are sweaty just thinking about it.
like the nervousness never really goes away. You just kind of get used to that feeling though.
Yeah.
Because I remember like even before mics, I'd be like, oh my God, I gotta go take a shit, dude. Like I'm so nervous. I was like, I'm gonna shit
You
my
too?
pants. Yeah, I was like, I gotta drop a brick or something.
That's
dude.
fucking hilarious.
And usually it's like a pebble because you're not real. It's just your
Ass is
nerves.
so
You're just
tight.
you're so nervous that you're just like, okay.
Couldn't pull a grease BB out of your
Yeah.
ass with a tractor.
But then you get used to it and you kind of go, you know, whatever. It's like, I'm going to go through this. I guess this is what we're going to do. Either I'm going to eat shit or I'm going to make the crowd laugh. Let's just fucking find out. Let's roll
I've
the
had
dice today.
nightmares of just going up on stage and then just going and freezing.
I mean,
Have you ever seen that happen?
yes.
Oh, nightmare.
I feel for those people so
Nightmare
bad.
fuel.
Actually, one of our friends, he's actually been on Kill Tony now several times. I was there when he first tried out. He was like
Nice.
19-year-old kid. I mean, tried out comedy. And he was so scared that me and my friend who used to help me host Los Rotos Dojo, CJ Couch, he hosted a mic in Mandarin. Yeah, CJ. Go follow CJ. He just got back on social
As
media.
well as the Los Rotos.
So CJ's hilarious. He's a great guy. So anyway, he's the host. Me and him turned and looked at each other because this kid just was shaking, like just violently. Like it started off slowly, like his leg, and me and
Yeah.
CJ did a slight glance, like, oh shit,
It's
like,
yeah.
because we've seen it. We've seen it before. And we've all been a little nervous initially in the beginning, but this kid, and he was
snowballed.
tall, skinny kid. So like, so obvious his leg is starting to move, but he gets through it, and it's hilarious. His sets are like his whole set was hilarious. It
Yeah.
was so good, and he was like, "Thank you guys," because he kept coming back. He got a little less scared, and now he's doing stuff like on
Oh,
Kill
that's
Tony. He
nice.
lives in Austin now. His name's Kent Hunter. Kent Hunter Comedy.
Shout
you can
out.
say. So I'm so proud of him because Kent stayed with it.
Mm-hmm.
And I even told him then because he's my daughter's age. So he's 22 now.
Nice.
And I basically told him, I said, dude, if you start now, you will be there eventually. You will be the next like Tom Segura or something like because you have enough leadway. You know, a lot of these guys been doing it 20-something years before they got famous, you know.
Was this the guy who was on your podcast?
No.
Oh,
Kent was
okay.
never on my podcast, but
Okay.
I met Kent when he first started, and then he moved to North Carolina. Then he came back to visit, and he said, I'm going to go to Austin. And he had
Wow.
less than a year under his belt of doing comedy.
That's brave. Mm-hmm. Good for you, man.
Yeah, Kent's great, though. He's a great kid. But he's gotten past his nerves, though. But he would, even when he did the first Kill Tony, I saw the little shake. I was like, oh, dude, that must be
Oh,
terrifying.
shit.
I would get nervous, you know, if it's Kill Tony.
Yeah.
You got 1 minute. 1 minute, you know. I already know what joke I'd do, but like we've all thought about this.
Have you?
Yeah.
You guys sit around and talk about it?
Oh yeah. Because like you know, especially if you're like a person, like because there's a couple times I've been asked to go there, and
Is that like the Graceland for comedians? Like it used to be the comedy
some
store,
people
right?
think that, but the older comics, the ones who knew comedy before this,
Mm-hmm.
think it's oversaturated.
Really?
So you have to be a certain echelon, I think, of comic to really enjoy Austin. Like you have to be higher echelon,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to be lower echelon because you're trying to get to like you haven't you're working your ass off. You're going to do whatever you can.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's a really good medium though for comics. Like it's almost like fucking Star Search for comics.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. It still gives an opportunity.
But it's uncensored and hilarious, which I think makes it way better.
Oh yeah.
But if the crowd really likes it, then they're gonna want that person back. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And if their
No,
their shit
100
sucks, their shit sucks.
Yeah,
you know?
100%.
Yeah.
Like that's my whole thing is like I get their perspective, but
Mm-hmm.
I also get the perspective of the opportunity and the possible life-changing
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
thing that can occur with it, you know? There's a lot of guys like Cam Patterson. Like Cam
Dude's funny as
Cam
fuck.
is so funny. He was less than a year, like maybe a year before he went to Austin.
Really?
Yeah, and then he left. And you know, and then Cam is good though. Cam is fun. He's one of those guys that is just naturally funny dude.
Yeah.
I have a friend 904 Nika, and that is kind of a plug too for her.
Shout out 904 Nika.
Shout out Nika TK Turner. I'll just like do the whole shout out to all the comedians.
There you go.
But Nika is also. I was about to be like, she's also black. She's also from the hood.
Wow.
So, but these things do create characters, is what I'm saying. It's experience, and so like, there's a similarity of like their comedy in the sense that they're used to dealing with the streets, and sometimes, and that's a lot of humor. That's what I go back to, like being like people that come from strenuous situations do use humor a lot, and I think that's why I tend to be friends with people from those situations, is because we have the same like sense of humor or whatever, you know. And
yeah, people, like I said, to not just the bullies and shit that I would use humor with, but like if I was like, I would mask depression a lot with humor.
Yes.
I would just cut it with a joke.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. And that works sometimes. At least with the comics now, like if we're doing that and we catch it with them, we're like, no, but really? And they're like, because I've done it before where I was like, oh, I think I'm actually about to be upset. I'm going to walk away, guys. And then like I'll walk away, but I won't say anything to them. I'll be like, I'll be right back. And I realize I just need a moment away because I don't unload my stuff really onto people. But it's funny, one of the wives of the comics came out there and she's like, "You're all right," and she caught it.
Yeah.
I was like, of course the broad caught that something was
Well,
wrong
that's
with
good
me.
that
The men
people
were
are-
like, she'll be all right. She'll get over it.
Just
Like,
laughing at your jokes. I mean, it's good both ways. It's good that people they see it for what it is.
Yeah.
That it's comedy. You made them laugh. You did your job. But then there are people that actually go, maybe there's something a little deeper that we need to actually stop this person and say, what the fuck's happening?
I think what happened is she just saw somebody ask me a question and I made a face and I was like, I'm okay. I got to take a moment though, because I think I'm about like, and I just walked out and then she came out a little bit after that because she was like, oh, that's not normal behavior. But I'm very aware. I think what helps me being older, even though it kind of sucks sometimes being the older broad because, you know, like, I don't know, dude, they just make shots at me all the time. I'm like, yeah, I get it, dude. I get it. I'm an old bitch. But is that when you're, oh my God, my train of thought almost left me there. I'm still hanging on to it. Oh, emotional. God, this fucking hate this. I was like, I'm still
Menopause
literally-
is a bitch.
I was
is a
gonna
bitch.
start throwing out like little suggestions, and then I was like, just shut up.
Also, not
Let her-
sleeping is
let her
probably
take
part
a
of it.
pause.
I was doing karaoke after Mike last night, so that could be part of it. But
Emotions.
yeah, so emotions. Thank you. But what was in connection?
You were talking about being an older broad.
Before that, though. Oh yeah, yes. Thank you. You did trigger me to remember that. Okay. I've gone through therapy. Is what I'm saying for the last like 20 years. So I think because I'm older, I'm able not to be as sensitive to other stuff.
Came from a different era.
Yeah, well, it's also I've just worked on my shit, so I don't take what everybody's dishing me as personal.
Right.
Because I realize like sometimes people are coming from different things.
Mm-hmm.
But don't get me wrong though, I got your number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you do that to me, I will always remember that you do not know how to control your emotions and you don't know how to take ownership in the moment. So I'm going to treat you like a colleague now. You'll never be my homie. But I'll be kind to you. I'll still be nice to you because you apologized to me, but you ain't going to be my friend. Yeah,
I don't know why I feel like I'm being scolded right now.
No. But
Not me.
but I will be. No, but it's just I deal with it more actually from female comics than the guys.
Really?
Yeah, the females.
Cattiness?
Yeah, the cattiness and I'm older. We're not on. I'm not competing with you.
Yeah.
Some of them I'm literally 20, almost 20 years older than.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you even worried about me?
Yeah, I've forgotten more shit than you ever know.
But also, why are you worried about me? I'm expired. Go ahead and enjoy your. I know, but you know what I'm saying? Like in my mind, like what I'm saying to them is like, don't worry, okay? Like what you're doing is a young woman's game. Go have at it.
Yeah.
I'm not competing with you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you actually flattering me with a compliment that you think I can compete with you.
What with all the twerking and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like. all the subscriptions on my OnlyFans that doesn't exist, you know? Like
Wow.
no, but that's the thing is like I don't I don't have this. I never did, even when I was little with women. Like, I realized I always my mom didn't show me the right attention, so I always want to make friends with them. So I kind of let them be kind of mean to me to be like part of the girls group, but I was never part of the girls group because they were fucking weird half the time.
Yeah.
Like how they talk shit about each other to one another and hang out with it. I didn't like that. With boys, it was always so much easier. Straightforward, because even if they talk shit, they're like, hey, I told Brian how much of a piece of shit you were yesterday about, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like very direct. If they're your friends, they're your friends. And so like, it was always so much easier for me to be friends with men, probably also because get along with my father better too, you know? So I could just.
Daddy issues and all that.
No, that's the thing. I have good issues with him. He wasn't a good partner though to his wife. So I love my dad, but he's a great dad. He's just a horrible husband.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, you know.
Well, he had no structure either. None of them, like my mom or dad, didn't come from the best examples, you know. But they did the best they could. So even though they weren't the greatest to us, they did better than their parents.
I think they did pretty awesome. You're pretty fucking awesome.
That's what my therapist tells me, though.
That you're awesome?
She goes, I don't know. She goes, I think you should give yourself the credit, is what she tells me.
Yeah.
But my therapist is black, so she tells me I can still be friends with my family. Like, I'm kidding. It's a joke. Because the white therapists are always like, disown your parents, fuck them up. And I don't. My mom is one of the most.
Is there milk in the fridge?
Yes, oat milk as well.
Oh,
yeah.
Got both kinds. Came back. No, I mean, you know, like I said, your family seems pretty cool. I know every family's fucked up and has
they
like
all have
fucked
their
up
drama,
shit. But
yeah.
I mean, look at you. You know, you're awesome. I've only just met you.
I appreciate you, man.
And I'm super happy that you came to hang out with me. But like your brother and your sister are both successful in what they're doing. You're successful. You know, you're raising a cool family, a great mom. I mean, it's just a lot of good shit going on in your life.
Now you sound like Aya. That's what she was telling me.
Oh?
No, she was just reminding me of all the good stuff because,
Yeah.
you know, our brains can focus on the negative. Mm-hmm.
Well, and that's, I don't know why anytime anybody says something about what you just said, it takes me to like comments in the fucking social media realm.
Right.
You know, because there could be a million comments and, you know, 999,000 or whatever the fuck it
Are great, yeah.
are perfect and awesome and uplifting. And then there's that one fucking negative comment. And that's the one that you see. That's the one you focus on. And that's the one you fucking shut your media down about. You know?
I mean, I had. Oh, were you gonna say something?
Oh no, I was looking at my
okay.
finger. Sorry.
I want to.
He was rolling a booger.
No.
I want to make
Bump
sure
on my
you're.
finger.
So I had a video or a clip of crowd work I posted years ago, and I got over 14,000 views. It was crazy, but just one piece of crowd work I put up because I was just like, it was funny. I have other crowd work, but I don't want to be a crowd work comic, right? I don't want to be known for that because I don't think I am. I just happen to
do it that one
time. I mean, there's a method though I have with my sets that I do throw in questions to the audience to keep them engaged, but it's not like a free reign conversation.
Right.
It's like, hey, do you blah blah blah, and I go, oh yeah, what's yours about, and then I throw it back to myself
it
and
brings
go back
them
and,
back into the
exactly. It gets them engaged. This was different, and I kind of did the same joke about, well, because I obviously didn't swallow whatever at the end. I was talking to this girl and her mom was in the audience, and her mom and her were the same age difference that me and my daughter were, because I was just saying, hey, we can still get it. Your mom can still get it, girl. Like joking around and like, anyway, the comments from the men weren't as bad as I thought it would be. But a lot of them made like emoji faces of uncomfortability. And I just was like giving them thanks. Instead of getting upset, I was like, I'm going to just boost my algorithm.
Yeah.
I'll like your comment and I'll thank you for because like, even if you didn't like this.
Definitely brings it up.
Yeah, even if you didn't like this, I don't care. It's funny. If you don't like broads, you don't like broads. That's okay. There's some men like that.
You're
you know?
getting canceled after this show anyways. Keep talking about broads.
Listen, if they knew, like if they know me, they know I use this. I also do it for comedic effect because it is
don't
funny.
worry, my 5 followers don't have any power to cancel people. So.
Yeah, but it's just funny because it's like the usage of words back then and now, if we use them, I don't know. I want to bring back certain terms. Like I want to bring back jabroni. I want to bring back broad. I don't
You're
know.
the second person that I've had in my life that I've met that says the word jabroni.
Oh yeah, me and my sister love to use
Yeah.
it though. It's like it's so fun.
Yeah, it was a funny
Bunch of jabronis over here.
The first time I heard it, I was like, "That's a funny word," it just made me chuckle.
Yeah, I mean, it means a goofy person. It
Yeah.
means a bunch of idiots. Like, it really does. So the word itself is funny, and then the meaning is funny.
Yeah,
So you're like, you bunch of jabronis.
I didn't know what it meant. I just heard it being used, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Jabroni."
You're just calling them idiots.
I
Like,
feel like I can't say that without culturally appropriating. Though.
nah, the Guidos are white now.
Oh my bad.
They're white, remember?
That's true.
Yeah.
Olive. They're olive skinned.
Well, they were treated as colored people when they first came here,
Right.
and then I don't even know if I'm not allowed to use that word anymore either.
Well,
I didn't mean it that way. If somebody
There's the
is gonna take it.
Nah,
NAACP,
fuck them
so-
anyways. Like,
Well,
God sort 'em
no.
out.
Well, no, but I realize though they're changing like how it's kind of like
are they going to
Well, they've
change the NAACP?
I don't know, dude.
Because
Well, that's like kind of how they change where you can't say retarded anymore. You can't, but
just said it.
I know, but I mean, not in the context we used to say, right?
I
like,
know.
which is not actually. I know that it probably was initially,
There's a lot of words that we shouldn't say that I say,
yeah. But I was just like, I don't know.
but
dude.
I don't say the N word with the hard R
I've never,
or at all.
I've never, but
I can't say never. That's just lying.
Oh, I have. I can. I can officially say that. I have said it with a GA. I love Wu-Tang, and I
Yeah.
used to sing all the lyrics. I am a super ODB fan. I know all the lyrics. Do you know how hard it was to retrain my brain after all those years of saying the N-word in the songs?
Yeah.
It was, but I can do it. Only to ODB's Return to the 36 Chambers. That one, like his whole, like the album with his ID, his food stamp ID, New York food stamp ID on it. That one, I can do it. I can do it.
Yeah.
I occasionally still,
You turn it down and get real quiet, like a guy in Office Space.
I occasionally can't say certain choruses though, because then it doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And I can't keep tempo because I'm pausing my breath and thinking about not saying that word.
Yeah.
Like there's a song that says "Shame on a who tried to run game on a."
Yeah.
You guys know that song?
Mhm.
See, you can
Well,
do it. You can do
yeah.
it.
Mm-mm.
It's a trick though.
It is a trick, and I prefer not to even go there. It's just I feel like
Oh,
Hey.
I'm still singing.
Hey,
to it.
that's your-
they can fuck off.
that's your
I
word.
just don't say the N word. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's
We
your
just
word.
say it with the windows rolled
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Well, as a white guy, I have to be very careful because privilege.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it does exist. I mean, there's certain people that do look at you as differently because you're white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean you want that. It doesn't mean you ask for it, right? But it's
However,
it doesn't mean you're running your whole life like that.
as a guy that looks similar, could pass for a homeless white guy, I lose that privilege. If I'm standing outside of a building and I'm, usually I'll squat. Sometimes I'll squat down and I'll just be hitting my vape. Especially if I have my hoodie.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dude, people I've had people
They
like,
offer
"Are
you
you
food."
okay?
You want $1?
Do you need $1?" I'm like,
My
bro.
ex is completely tatted, like head to toe. And there were times I think people thought maybe he was homeless when it's like, nah, he's doing
Yeah.
just fine. It's just like I think it's,
probably better off than you, fella.
but see, that's my whole point though. That goes back to perception, right?
Right.
Like, so there are going to be some people that may treat you different because you are like white looking. Because I know in bank,
And homeless looking. Go
in
ahead, you
homeless
can say it. You can
looking,
say it.
but I don't think you look homeless. But I know I've seen all kinds of homeless.
Yeah.
I've gone from New York City to San Francisco to Miami, and the Orlando. All of those homeless people are.
I may not be homeless, but I'm definitely a poor.
Yeah, you're poor.
Yeah,
You're poor.
I'm one of the poors.
As Segura says, he goes, "We're not the poors need us." or
Yeah,
whatever he
I
does.
do. I need you, Tom.
Dude, they get there's a lot of people. Oh, I don't know if we should talk about it because it's like comedy gossip. Because it's
I don't have any. I'm not in that.
No. I'm just a nerd with comedy, even more so than some of the other comics.
I'm a nerd in other ways.
So,
but
like,
you-
I know the openers who open for the openers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the one who will follow comics in different cities and become like buds with them. I don't even. That's the one thing about comedy is it's like we trauma bond with each other a lot.
I was
comics.
gonna say it's a brotherhood, but apparently,
Oh no, it's a trauma bond, really. A lot of the times too, if a comic says there's nothing's wrong with them, that's a lie.
definitely something wrong.
That's 100%.
I just wish somebody would have got to Robin Williams.
Well, I mean, he was sober for a while. I mean, he tried. There's
Yeah.
several times that he tried. I just think there's times that some people get real dark and
Yeah.
there's nothing anybody could have done really, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to think this man had all the money he could have probably to get the help. All the things happen. I mean, that's just like Alice in Chains, right?
Mm-hmm.
Staley. Yeah. I have a joke about him.
No,
Yeah.
careful. I like him.
Oh, I like him too.
No,
it's about his. It's
was a
about his
joke.
cat not eating him.
Okay.
When he died, because he was dead for a while. So
I didn't hear that.
the premise. Well, he had a cat named Daphne
Okay.
or Daphne, and I don't know why I said Daphne. It's Daphne. Daphne. Where did that come from?
I don't know, but
I'm
I like it.
I know, me too. I was like,
I'm going to name my
Daphne.
next kid
I
that.
know.
That's a joke.
So anyway, so there was an article that said dogs are less likely to eat their owners
Yeah.
when they die, but cats more than
It
likely.
takes them longer.
Yeah, it takes them longer. But cats, right? They're still gonna
Cats
eat.
are supposed to say, they said something about it, like within an hour of your death, they're going to start eating your eyeballs.
I don't know if it would take. Well, anyway,
Maybe a day.
Maybe
that's
3 days.
Maybe that's just me hoping my cat takes
Won't
a
eat
little.
you.
Well, no, I don't care if she eats me because I honestly want her to survive. So if I'm dead, just fucking eat me.
So sweet.
It's true though. I don't fucking care, but I just don't want to
Such a
think.
good
but
cat
she's
mom.
a predator. I mean, of course
Yeah.
she's gonna. I've saved literally in the last 3 days. I've saved 2 squirrels from her, a finch, and
They're murder animals.
oh, I know. She's doing a great job because she brings them
Yeah.
to me.
Look what I made.
But thank God they've been fine enough for me to like let them go. And like the squirrel yesterday
Merely a flesh wound?
lost the tip of its tail, but
Oh,
yeah, about an inch. Like
bless them.
I know.
It'll grow back.
yeah, no, I don't think so. But
I know they lose their tails. Did you know that?
they don't lose. That's lizards.
It's a lizard.
I don't know, man.
What are
when
you
I was
talking
a kid,
about?
I found a
Both you and I are like, what?
I found a fucking squirrel tail just sitting around, and I'm like, where the fuck?
yeah,
did
but it
this-
probably got cut off like from a cat or something. Like my cat just
Maybe.
caught the baby. It's like
I carried
a
that thing around
fledgling.
for so long, and I used to flip it.
Oh, I threw the tip in the garbage. It was in my neighbor's yard. I just didn't want their kids
You
coming
didn't put
out
it in
there
a
and like
bag of
picking
ice
it up.
and throw it in the median, Lorena.
No, I just threw it. I threw it in their garbage. The garbage man threw it away for them.
Bless them.
Yeah, but yeah. So anyway, the whole premise is my sister was like all defensive. She's like, "That's not true. Lane Staley's cat didn't eat him." And then it turns out I did a deep dive on America's best news source, Reddit.
Oh, okay.
And so that's part of the punchline, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
when I'm
that's
doing
it.
it on stage, and then I do pause. I would pause longer because I
Yeah.
wait for people like to shout something.
Fox.
Yeah. No, some people get it right away though. Some people go Reddit like that, and I
Yeah.
go exactly right, and then other people start laughing after it. So I don't care if you guess it right. So,
I thought Wikipedia.
and then I find out it's because she had automatic feeders. That's why she didn't fucking eat them.
That's fucking hilarious.
And I go, I don't know if I want to burst my sister's bubble. I've never told her that, and I know she won't watch anything I'm on, so she's never going to see this. But
That's sad.
yeah.
No, I like that. I
But
mean,
she wanted. My sister's been like
But that's
latching
real?
on. Yeah, she's been latching on to the fact that none of her cats will ever eat her because they loved her so much. And I'm like, yeah, right.
I don't think that's true.
that
give-
motherfucker will
They
eat
are-
your eyeballs.
She has a cat named Doe that she gives intravenous fluids and stuff because she has like stage 4 kidney stuff failing. But my sister's in recovery. She's 10-year in recovery from heroin,
Oh,
and that cat helped her through it. So like my
I see.
sister is
sentimental,
latching
yeah.
on to her, and I'm just like, she's gotten better though because she's been dealing with it for the past
Yeah.
2 years. I'm kind of glad it's taken this long because now at least my sister has been able to kind of cope with the possible idea of losing her. But when it first happened,
Sounds like she needs an ayahuasca trip.
well, it sounds like she's not allowed to do drugs
That's true.
anymore. So
That's a bad idea, Jim. I'm just,
I mean, she can do whatever she wants, really. But I think my sister almost lost her leg and has to have a
holy shit.
Well, that's from her heroin addiction.
Right.
Like she got into an accident and it slammed it, and but she basically told I guess they wouldn't she told them to take her to 3 different hospitals because they were going to amputate her leg, and she recently told me actually that was the EMTs that forced that, and I was like, oh, I thought you did, and she goes, well, they were suggesting it, so I said fine, and
So she was okay with losing the leg?
well, no, the EMTs kept trying to bring her to a new hospital because each hospital was like, we have to amputate it. We have to amputate it. Finally, they brought her to one and they go, listen, we can try, but we can't guarantee that we're going to be able to save your leg. And they did. And they even said she may not walk again, and she does. But she needs a new surgery
And
because
she rocks.
yeah, and because of the way. But she's afraid because of the opiates. Like she can't take
Pain
stuff.
medicine,
Yeah,
yeah.
but it's gonna be like a serious recovery, probably a few months at least.
Yeah.
And she'll need help. I told her I could go there because I work from home, so I could go there.
Yeah.
But I probably would have to bring my cat, and our cats probably will not get along. So, bitches.
Cat-
Fucking bitches.
For real
dude.
cat fights.
Fucking bitch. No, they probably could, but then by the time they finally get along, I'd probably leave. Like,
Yeah.
it'd probably take months. So, and my cat's now
Damn,
indoor, outdoor.
that's tough.
Her cat's indoor, so.
Your cat's an outdoor cat?
Indoor, outdoor.
Oh.
That's why she's catching squirrels and shit. Like, she was.
Yeah.
We always knew she was a hood cat, like she was a street cat. We rescued her, but I knew right away when
My
she.
granddad used to call them floozies.
Yeah, she's spayed and everything,
Yeah.
has her shots and whatever. But I didn't want her to be outdoor. But I had to leave. I live now on the south side.
Mm-hmm.
She has now a cul-de-sac
Swanky.
to be free, and I'm taking care of my mom. And my mom left the door open one day, and guess what? My cat was gone for a few hours. So after that, I
She
said,
got a taste.
"Yep, she's indoor outdoor now, I guess." And she has a chip also, but I have a collar on her now and
Yeah.
everything. But I have a bell. It doesn't work though. She still kills things.
They just hear her. What the fuck is that noise? What the
Well,
fuck is
I think
that?
they're traumatized a little bit by it, which I'm glad because I found the other squirrel that she tried killing the first one, and it's even scared of me because I had to take a towel and flip it because it was in shock, and I didn't know if it was dead or not, guys. It was like, and they were all like, they look like baby squirrels, but not babies, like just an
Teenage
adult, yeah,
squirrels.
like teenage squirrels, and it was like in a bush, like upside down, and I could hear it go. And I saw my cat standing there. I was like, "Come here, where are you not moving?" But and then I realized that squirrel sounds like it's on the ground, not in the tree.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, she's watching."
She's
so,
stalking.
so she was just anytime it moved, she put it, smack it, and knock it over, smack it, knock it over. She's not even trying to kill it. She's like playing with it.
Playing cat and
Blood
mouse.
sport.
So I had, yeah, exactly.
sport.
So I had to bring her into the house,
Hmm.
lock her in there, come back out, get it. The squirrel was
Squirrel.
still like this, like, and it's going, and I didn't want it to bite me, so I grabbed the towel to turn it over,
Mhm.
because I don't know if it's what it's got.
Yeah.
And I was like, I hope I'm gonna wait an hour or two, and maybe it'll be gone, because when I turned it over, it moved. So I was like, oh, it's not injured, right? I didn't see blood or nothing too, and it moved a little bit, but hit the fence and then just stopped. And I was like, dummy, climb, like, get out of here. Like, what are you doing? Like, the cat's not around. So I left, came back, still there 20 minutes later.
Oh, Jesus.
Breathing, though. Like, and I was like, God, I called my daughter. She was a vet tech. So I called.
Punch drunk.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, should I do something? She goes, well, if it doesn't look hurt or anything, I say, leave it alone. It will go into shock sometimes, but maybe
it
it'll
over the
get out of
fence.
it. Yeah, I did. I didn't do that. Anyway, I went out there again. It was gone. Thank God.
Asshole.
Yeah, Hawk got it.
Yeah. Well, I rather that. I rather the circle of life.
And
I
it
just,
would be
Yeah.
fast.
yeah, yeah, a lot faster. A
A
lot.
cat will just fuck with it until it's
Yeah,
dead.
especially a cat that's fed. Okay,
Yeah.
like if she wasn't fed, she would have eaten it.
Eaten
Like
it.
I had a feral. We still have her, but our feral cat, she'd eat the heads off of them and drop the bodies right in front of our, like on our windowsill. She did that with a rat. Like,
Savage.
yeah, she was, but she was feral before we
Yeah.
got her. So like but she'd always eat the head. So she'd at least, eat the brains and shit, and then leave the body there for us. She brought snakes in, like all
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of shit. Like,
I had a Maine Coon that would do that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but they're trying to show us they love us. They're just like, "Hey, look what I got for us. Look at
Yeah.
this dinner." It's like,
I ate the
bitch,
head. You can have the rest.
Yeah, I got the best part, the brain.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm allergic to cats now. In my old age.
Are you actually allergic, or are you just like allergic to
No.
just dealing with them?
So changing the fucking cat box.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, I'm. It's not like I'm not like gonna swell up or anything, but like my throat, I'll start feeling it close.
so you are the dander and,
and the
everything.
and the sneezing and my eyes water and shit like that. It's not like I don't think I'm gonna die,
Right.
but
It's
it's
annoying.
very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Like when after my divorce and I got an apartment and my oldest daughter came to live with me and she, I don't know where she found it, but some old lady was giving away kittens. And I came home one day and she was like sitting on the couch like doing that
no.
shit, and I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at me like that for?
Oh God!
And then
I hate when
and
my
then
daughter gives me that look. I
there
know.
was I heard this behind me, and I was like, what the fuck was that? And she's like, and then this fucking thing went up the fucking curtains, and I was like, oh my God, there's a fucking rat in our house, because it was this big. It was so tiny.
Yes.
And I said, look, and I mean, after I let it stay for maybe a week.
Mm-hmm.
She might get on to me if she hears this. I don't remember how many days I let it stay, but after I started, and I used to raise kittens,
Right.
but it didn't take long, and things were happening, and I was not comfortable.
Right.
And I said, look, you got to get that. Plus, I cannot stand the smell of a cat box.
So
Well, my daughter was not good at
that's what I was
cleaning
going to say. I was like, I have rebuttals for these because usually it's because of how the human is taking care of the animal that causes higher dander, higher smell from litter boxes or whatever. Like I use a wheat scoop, which is all wheat based litter. So it's even flushable. So there's no, for me, with my daughter, I was like, there's no excuse. Literally the litter box is next to, the litter box is next to the toilet. You see a shit, you dump a shit.
Well, if they could have taught the cat how to poop in the toilet, which I've seen, I know they can do it.
It is possible. I think my brother's cat does it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but he has that training thing or whatever. Yeah, that little donut.
Yeah,
First do a donut with litter, then you do. God, that sounds so messy though.
It does.
That's the only thing I would hate is dealing with the mess of litter.
Clean up after a fucking cat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like I said, I know my kids. And they have always wanted pets, and every time we'd get one,
they just don't take care of it.
After 2 weeks, I was dealing with it, and I told her, I said, "Look, I'm not fucking cleaning that cat box.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not feeding it. I'm not doing shit with it. The fucker can die, And I'm not. But I say that,
right? Of course, you're going to take
care of it. And of course, I would end up being the
Yeah.
fucking daddy.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Of course, you're going to do it. They know that. They know
Right.
you take care of them, so they're like, well, either way. Well, did you end up having to get him readopted by somebody?
She took the kitten back to the old lady that she got her from, because they and it was they were feral kittens, so it doesn't matter how young you get them. Feral cat is a feral cat is a feral cat.
Yeah, but they can still be normalized.
This cat was missing a few screws.
I'm sure they are.
Oh, yeah, mom and dad were fucking cousins, probably.
But I disagree. Yeah, exactly. But I disagree with you only because we've rescued a lot of feral cats, and they actually turn out to be the best cats.
They're good outside cats. I'll say that.
I'm gonna disagree again with you, and I'm gonna tell you our cats were indoor, outdoor, feral cats.
It's okay.
But we got them before. You have to get them before 5 months. How old was that cat?
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but usually you have to get him before 5
He was
months.
a little fucking applehead.
He probably was just being a crazy kitten.
He was super cute, but he fucked up all my shit.
That's my cat now. She's an asshole. She's probably the worst cat I've ever had.
Like,
When she was a kitten, she was a terror.
I never wanted
She's
to
a fucking
punch
terror.
a cat so bad in my life, and I would never. But
I know what you mean.
It's just like, sometimes you're in a grocery store and there's like a kid screaming at the top. You can't hit them, but sometimes you could push them down.
Yeah.
When their mom's not looking.
Yeah, or just knock the shit out of their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd just go
Oh,
push them on the ground.
I've
Keep walking.
I actually appreciate the adults that did that to us. Like I would have adults that would just like out of nowhere just hit shit from out of our hands, and we'd have to like run again.
The funniest thing I learned, it was a black mother. I used to work in a grocery store, and her kid was screaming fucking bloody murder, wanted some kind of toy or something, and this mother knew. She was like, everybody's watching us, and when I'm not going to spank my kid, she was just like, oh, you got a little something on you, and then she just reached down and she pinched the fucking shit out of this kid. I saw it. A lot of people didn't see it because it happened so fast.
Right.
This kid goes,
Yeah.
like went into convulsions, like, oh, what just happened? And she shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I believe in corporal punishment for children. I'm all with the spankings.
Sometimes children do need to be snatched up. I'm not saying beat them.
No,
but they
no.
need to be
There's
put
a
in their
line.
place. They
There's
need
a
to be
line.
put in their place when they're crossing a line. You need to set boundaries with them.
It's like a kid, or just like anybody having like a panic attack. Sometimes if you slap them, they'll like come out of it.
Knock out. Like I got the best tip from a black mother as well when I was a young mom, and she told me that what she taught her kids the first time they ever cried in a store, she would just leave everything there and walk out. And I was like,
That's what my mom would do.
yeah, and it works because I did it to my daughter. The first time she did it, I gave her a warning. I said, listen, if you don't quit, I'm gonna leave everything. We're not getting anything because she wanted something. I forgot what.
They always want
And
something.
she just started throwing a tantrum. So I said, I started just calmly walking the car, and she's getting louder because she's like, no, I'm going away. And I go, we're leaving now. You didn't listen. No, I'll stop. I said, no, now we're getting nothing. So I put the cart, and I said, I'm really sorry to one of the people. I said, but we have to leave. She's, and she's still like, and then now she's trying to, I'll stop. No,
Too late.
too late. And she learned her lesson though. I've even driven her friends home. She tried it when started being a teenager,
Showing
going
out.
through And I go, if you don't quit, they can all go home. She didn't believe me. Guess what? Everybody get in the
Get
car.
the fucking car.
Yep. Your parent already knows you're being dropped off.
See,
so
I with my mom, like if that happened, we like learned quickly because like if that my mom beat the shit out of us in a loving way, not like abuse. If nowadays though, it would be considered abuse.
it would. I was gonna say
She had
that's why I laughed.
multiple weapons inside the pantry hanging on nails. There was like 2 belts, a paddle. I used to break the paddles over my ass. I mean, she would just fuck, But that's why she was always buying me those paddle balls because when the thing would break off, she'd just stick it in her purse. Yeah, but if she said we're going home, if you don't stop acting up, and we went home, it would be followed with an ass whooping, straight up.
Wow.
Yeah, or if she had to take our friends home, come home, ass whooping.
So nobody, when I was growing up though, nobody was allowed in my house. So we didn't have friends over.
So that stopped that.
And we weren't allowed to sleep over people's houses.
Oh.
Because it's my mom's Latin culture. And
Sure.
I think my father, too, agreed because he had 2 girls.
Yeah.
I don't think he really
Scary.
understood how to protect him. My mom was overly protective about certain things. Also, I just don't think they wanted to worry about the stress of having, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
there comes a time you have to give your kids opportunities to
fuck up.
Yeah, to fuck up. But I just don't think they wanted to deal with it at a young age. And then what else? My mom was the beater. My mom was the one who just hit us out of nowhere. Yep. We didn't have tools, though. She didn't have tools. It was anything. So a lot of in the Latin culture, I'm sure you see the chancleta challenge. Yeah. But she would do anything, dude. My mom, if she had a broom, she'd hit us with a broom. It didn't matter what it was, But my dad was more of a threaten.
Yeah.
He didn't have to hit us. Like, he was more...
Give you the look.
He'd do the look. His hand was like to me as big as my face at the time,
Like a
and
soup bone.
yeah, and he was guy who worked with his hands and stuff, and he would be like, "Don't make me spank you" or something like that, and he would never spank me. But the threat of it was terrifying. Like my dad's a big guy compared to my mom, right? So my mind is like, God, if Dad does
You did
it,
the math.
Mom already makes me bleed. What if Dad does it? So my dad, or he'd get the belt and he'd snap it, do the those old school leather belts that would last 50 years. Now you can't find those anymore, right? But he never really hurt us like that.
Yeah.
But I learned from my dad consequences because my dad would say, "You do this, this is what's going to happen. You do that."
It's a good lesson.
That worked better than being hit. So that's what I did with my daughter. I never had to really spank my daughter. I've snatched her up, but I've never hit her. So I was so lucky I didn't have to. There's times I thought I was. Well, that snatch up was one time. I didn't realize, but her and I are both anemic. I felt horrible. My hand mark was on her from just grabbing her.
Shit.
I felt so bad, dude. I was like, wow, I'm glad I didn't actually hit her. She would have been like, I just grabbed her and said, "Don't you talk to me like that." And then, kind of let her know, because she was becoming a teenager and she's talking back. I was like, I brought you
You're
in. I'll
going down
take
the
you
wrong
out.
path.
Okay. I
Yeah.
brought you in. I'll take you out. I'm a fighter. You're not a fighter. Okay. let's remind you who's boss here.
That's right.
Right. And guess what though? Never happen again.
Well, that's the fucking positive.
Right.
My mom was also the beater, and my dad, when he was alive, I don't remember this because I was too little. He died when I was like 2.
Oh, okay.
And but so I was really little, but my mom, we were told this story.
Okay.
So my mom was like, we were acting a fool apparently, and she said, Jimmy, his name was Jim too. I'm a junior. She said, Jimmy, you know, they talk through their teeth and that's fucking when they're real serious.
Right.
She said, you take those kids in that room and you beat their ass. I'm tired of this shit. And she's like, you always get off scot-free. I always have to do all this. It's your fucking turn. And apparently he took us in the bedroom and laid us over the bed, like all 1, 2,
Right.
3. There was 3 of us. I had 2 twin sisters. And he got the belt and he started popping it like that. But then he hit the bed. He started smacking the shit out of the bed, and we were all freaking the fuck out because we didn't know what was happening.
Right.
Usually when we were in that position, it was ass whooping time.
Right.
But he wasn't hitting us. He was hitting the bed, and we were so scared and crying. And my mom thought he was murdering us in there, and she busted in, and we were all like, "Ah, we'll never do it again," you know. And he got away from having to hurt us because he was like a gentle person.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it.
No, yeah, but I always
The
thought that
universe
was,
fucked your mom over, huh? Though.
Yeah,
Now you got to
she
do
did.
it the rest of their life.
Yep.
Now what, bitch? She spoke it into existence.
She did, and I mean, and we.
Sorry, I don't know you like that to make these jokes. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's fine.
This
great.
is how we do with the comics. We're like,
I was a creative little fuck. You know, I got in trouble one time. This is another ass whooping not joke, but story. I got in trouble, and she had to come pick me up from school, and she's like, "Go in your room. I'll be in there in a minute." That's how it was. You know, you think about what you've done, and I'll be in there in a minute to whoop your ass. And so I was in there, and I started strategizing. I was like, "What am I going to do at this time?" So I was like, I looked over, and I was like, "I have like 30 pairs of underwear."
I know. I was
And
gonna say.
I put all of them on and then wiggled my pants up, and she came in with the belt, and instead of going like, it was more like, thump. And she goes, "What the fuck?" And she's like, realized at that moment that I had every pair of underwear that I had in the house on my ass, and she goes, and she starts cracking up, and so she's laughing. I'm like, I'm laughing, and I'm thinking I'm getting away scot-free. And she's and just beat the shit out of my bare naked ass. So that was my
Do you want to talk to us about what your kinks are today?
You know, it's funny.
I think we saw a preview on the algorithm earlier.
Yo.
Everything's making sense now.
Yeah.
Let's just say I'm the
Mommy
spanker
issues.
now.
He's like, I now need to assert
Yes,
dominance.
I'm not very.
He's like,
I'm not
All
very
those years.
is that twine rope over there? Is
Yeah,
it,
I'm not very masochistic. I'm definitely more sadistic.
yes.
Put it that way. But yes. Well, shit, man.
I know. It's,
We could do this all night long.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel
She
like
said. Sorry.
that's what you hope.
give
she
yourself the rim shot.
said. That's what
But
you hope.
I thank you.
Oh,
for-
yeah,
for
no,
coming
I
and
appreciate you
hanging out
guys
with us.
having-
Hopefully you had a good time.
Oh, yeah, I had a great time with you guys. I'm going to have to pee again.
I
just-
definitely
Oh, yeah.
do.
I know.
I've
was
been
like-
holding it for the last hour.
I don't know how you did that, though.
Because I've got a little extension.
Oh,
You know, I
sure.
can just pocket that.
I drank
Been
a
sitting on it.
lot of water though today.
Yeah.
So I was
Good.
no,
And
I
a
needed-
natty light, so that'll push it.
Yeah,
through.
that
Yo.
probably didn't help me.
That's
actually,
pretty much water.
It basically.
It kind of is one though. It's
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's out of my system by
Nah,
now.
yeah,
I probably peed it out
Oh,
earlier.
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But is there anything that you would like to let the people
Oh
know
yeah.
about?
Check out. Obviously, they already mentioned my social medias. Red Hair Anomaly. I wish I could change it to Vanessa Scaduto, but some broad in Sicily has it. Who
Really?
It's literally she hasn't posted since like 2013 or 12, and I've tried to report it so they could get rid. I know I'm an asshole.
Now she's going to know who did it.
No, because she's Italian and she doesn't.
I don't know. I like Red Hair Anomaly.
Yeah, that is my AIM name. That is my PSN. That's stuff I've used since the
Whoa.
90s, dude.
She said AIM.
AIM, dude. AIM, son.
I remember AIM.
Yeah, so I've had it forever, but some people don't know how to spell anomaly. Go figure. They don't know.
Well, it took me a minute to read it. I was like, Red Hair Anomaly?
Ironically, it was my brother who helped me come up with that name years ago.
Yeah.
We were mastering his album in our washer and dryer room. That's where he had his little studio.
Yeah.
And
You work with what you got.
yeah, that's what we did. And we put we put all that stuff around it too. And I was like, I got to come up with an AIM name. I don't know why we were talking about this. And I was like, I got to come up. And he's like, well,
'Cause it's
why don't you do a feature? And he's like, what about you have red hair, so red hair. And he's like, well, you're a different kind of girl. How about anomaly? Like something so simple. And so I was like, all right. He goes, guys will think it's mysterious. And I go, I don't care what they think. Like, I just wanted something cool. Like I didn't even.
It works. I like it. I like it. And
So-
Los Rotos.
Oh yes, I'm sorry, I'm like dragging things.
I
Los
tried to
Rotos.
roll my R, but it didn't work.
Yeah, you can say Los Rotos if you need to. Los
Y'all
Rotos.
come on down to Los Rotos.
Los Rotos Dojo. So yeah, Los Rotos Dojo or our Los Rotos podcast. I think we're gonna bring it back.
Yes.
According to Marshall, I have a feeling it will probably be the new year. I have a
Okay.
feeling with him because I think he wants to wait till he gets everything
Ironed
down.
out.
Even though I don't think we need to, but I'll go with whatever he
He
wants
seems
to
like
do.
a very like a perfectionist,
Oh, 100%.
whereas I'm more chaotic.
Yeah,
I just threw this shit together and be like, let's roll.
yeah. He's definitely he'll do it, but he definitely if he can do it the best way, he'll want to
Of
do it.
course.
But that's why he's such a quick learner, though. He's he's similar to how my family was, though. I want to figure this out. I'm gonna go learn about it.
Yeah.
I want to when he produced music, he's the same way. Like initially, my brother just taught himself too,
Yeah.
and then he went to Full Sail.
Well, I'm super happy I met Marshall and that we're friends, and I'm ecstatic that I'm
Yes.
friends with you now. Can I say that?
Yeah, of
Okay,
course.
good.
Yeah, dude.
And I hopefully will be able to come to one of your open mic nights.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we have one next week, the 16th,
Mm-hmm.
at Kingmaker Brewing.
I'll be on vacation in November, so maybe I'll swing down if y'all
Yeah.
have something open on November.
Yeah, November. I think we may have one day that whole month because I think holidays fall and then it's every other week. So I think
I'm on
that
vacation the first week, so it's in there.
I think it's in the first week
Sweet.
because I think that's when after that is Thanksgiving and then Christmas and like all that. And it's
You're
just,
posting about those things.
Oh
so,
yeah,
right?
I posted it. I posted here. I have a Facebook page
Are
for
you on
it.
Twitter?
I'm not. I am on Twitter, but I don't do
You don't
anything
use
on
it?
it now. It's so old.
Don't go to my Twitter.
I was like,
There's a lot of naughty things on there, but I like it.
yeah, no, I mean, Twitter is what it is,
See?
right? Like, so I don't judge people with that
I've got a
stuff.
lot of friends that are in the adult industry, so
I literally, so I have another comedian friend who actually is a I don't, what would you call a male dominant?
He gets fucked in the ass.
Yeah, he's a male dom. No, he's a dom.
Oh, he
He's-
fucks in the
He's a
ass.
dom. He's not getting it. He's giving it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but he talks about that with me a lot too. It's like a specific, it's very, like when he talks about the ins and outs and like the parties, sometimes they hire him for parties and
Uh-huh.
like things like that. And I'm just like, damn, dude. Like, he's like, yeah, it's wild. Like,
it's the life.
yeah, he'll message me at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, you haven't gone to bed, have you? And he's like, nope. I'm still up.
Just waiting on this Viagra to
He's
wear
like,
off.
yeah, exactly. I don't even think.
He probably
I think
doesn't
it's
need
more
it.
than others. Yeah, I don't. I think.
wow.
Yeah, I think this is. Yeah, a lot of the times the dick is not what's involved.
Right.
That's what I think people don't understand. It's really the
Ah.
play,
Yeah. Mhm.
the play up to, or if not, it doesn't even need to include sexual intercourse. So it's really the
Depending on who you're with.
Right. It all depends on. Like I was with a guy who was in. We're going down another path.
I know.
But
It's okay.
this guy was into. I guess primitive. It's called primitive.
Primal.
Or primal. There you go. See, I'm not even like. But he had a weird safe word that I
know
was
things.
where I was like, oh yeah, we're not doing this again. I said,
He's trying to give you a safe word.
yeah. I said, well, what would it be? And he's like, mommy. I said, nope. Now I'm out.
That's not a safe word.
Yeah, I think he was trying to make a joke, but I was like, like.
You know
If
not
I
with
had a
that?
dick, it'd go down, dude. Like 100%.
So you never called no dude daddy?
No. I have a father. I know
Dad
him.
is
And I,
different than daddy.
And
though.
even though he didn't show affection well,
Mm-hmm.
I know through therapy now he does love me. He
Yeah.
just didn't know how to show it.
yeah.
And I also have the same feeling about toys though.
Hmm.
Like I don't own toys. Like a lot of girls talk about their toys on
Like
the
Barbies and stuff.
yeah, with vibrators. So so that are ribbed for her pleasure.
Magic vibrating wand.
I just I do a joke where I was like, I go to therapy, so I don't need a toy. Like my dad, I know my dad loves me. And And also, I do think it just like porn is bad for men. I think toys
Is
are
it bad for men?
yes.
You think so?
Oh no, there's studies proven for the neurologically your brain changes.
That's what's wrong with me.
Your brain actually changes. It turns to gray matter in certain areas. It like goes gray and deadens out if you watch it too much. Yeah, I think it depends too. I think it depends on
I
like
mean, it's not like 24/7.
yeah, but over time there's studies about it. Like you can.
I
go-
definitely think that it's fucked up my like how things work.
It's your pleasure centers. It reprograms them because like you're so inundated with fake sexual stuff
Yeah.
that when you actually
But
experience
we like
it,
to watch it together. I
yeah.
mean, you
Well,
know.
if that's a little bit better because at least it's a communion of like, you're both losing gray matter
She watches
together.
Crazy shit.
Yeah. but there is proof over time that it does, and it also lessens intimacy between
Yeah,
couples sometimes.
I can see
and
that.
stuff. But if you guys are doing it together,
Yeah.
that's a form of intimacy. I think
Hey-oh.
I think that's I think that is the thing that they say is like usually it's an alone time,
Yeah.
and that's what can cause less intimacies because the male counterpart tends
Desensitized.
yeah, they tend to want to go to the fake stuff because it's easy.
fantasy.
It's easy. Yeah, it's also easy, right? No emotions really involved in it. And then now
Well-
you got a broad asking you to go get a towel, and
If
you know
you're-
now you need a cup of water, and you're
If
like,
you're-
I just want to go to bed.
I'll just say that I believe that men need maintenance. And sometimes it's not always, a girlfriend or a woman or someone, whoever your significant other, or there to help with that. And sometimes you need, we're visual creatures. And
I'm pro guys get a nut when you get a nut, please. I'd rather you be less like I don't want your balls full. I'd rather you, as walking in
balls
society.
full are dangerous.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what wars start over.
Yes, exactly. So please get your nuts out where you can.
Yeah.
But
When
I would say try to use your imagination though is probably the better thing.
Oh, that's
like I
fine.
still masturbate, but I masturbate in the shower. I don't necessarily need porn. Occasionally I'll watch
That's
porn,
what
but
waterproof phones are for.
yeah, well, that's true. How many meters can it drop before?
Answer for everything. No, I respect that, but I'm still gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't care
Don't
though.
judge
Like
me.
I don't. I've figured.
We're still friends.
I mean, it sucks in some ways. I think because it is so inundated now in society.
It's normal.
Before I have a joke talking about like before we have to go like my what I was into was whatever my dad was into because I had to go to his porn collection. I had to go whatever his VHS tape was. That's what it was,
That's crazy.
and I had to remember the timestamp. I had to. Oh God, I hope he doesn't watch this. He doesn't know this. He doesn't know that I.
That's why it was not on the right timestamp.
I just realized I was about to let something else out of the bag, and if my dad actually cares enough about me to probably watch this. So
You think?
in 3 years,
Dad,
in
don't
3
hold
or
it.
4 years, he'll probably like skip through.
Come
it.
across
Yeah.
it. And, what the fuck?
No, he'll probably ask me about it if he sees it. He's like, "Hey, what was that thing you were doing the other day? It's a podcast. It looked interesting."
Maybe he'll just scroll through that one spot.
Hopefully.
Which
accidentally.
one of my magazines did you get a hold
I'm
of?
actually going to
Plus,
use
this is
that
towards this.
as the
Yeah,
clip.
exactly.
I'm going to make a clip out of that section.
Oh, he knows about the magazines. I actually got in trouble at school for, so he's aware of that. He hid a whole shit ton of pornography, and he says he didn't do this, but who else did it?
It's a porn fairy.
Into our Halloween costume box, which was a very deep box. It was about 4.5. He took like an old box
Put it in
from.
the attic.
It was in the basement.
Oh, you guys have basements.
We had basements there. It was in the basement in the closet. But here's the thing: we were creative kids. We dressed up in our costumes all year round.
Yeah,
It wasn't like because my mom was a garage sale queen, so she just finds stuff for us to play. So I found all these hustlers, all these things, and I told other kids about it, and they're like, "This kid, David Henson, fuck you, David. He dared
Whoa.
me. Yeah, I don't care if you still exist. Fuck you. I still got the scar from you, you little bitch."
Wow.
And so David dared me to bring one of them to school.
Oh,
So I did, and then
shit.
that rat ass fucking coward ass bastard went and told the lunch ladies, and they had to call my parents. I was like a little pussy ass bitch.
Damn. Still harboring
pissed.
some resentment there.
Yeah,
Huh?
because then his sister tried to take my sister's Miss Piggy, and we had to fucking do
Oh,
something about that.
dude,
hell
not
we
Miss
had
Piggy.
we had beef, son. We had so much beef as
Fucking
kids in
fighting
elementary
words.
school, dude. Yeah.
Don't worry, Daddy's just going down to the basement.
Yeah.
Don't come down here.
No, my dad showed up to their house. My dad's old school broke. My dad showed up to their house when he found out that the sister took her doll.
Mm-hmm.
We got it back.
Good.
We got it back.
Did he get his magazine back?
Oh, he got. he got that back. He got that back for sure, but he denies to this day that he ever put them in the box. And I asked my sister about it because I was like, "Is this a false memory?" And she goes, "No, that Dad did that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay."
See, when the
like,
first time I ever saw a nudie magazine was from the Porn Fairy, and I've talked about this before. And most young men, you won't know about this.
No, it was a black. I know what it is.
This is a thing where
it was a black label. They would throw them on the. We would steal Playboys from people's mail
No,
because
no,
they
no.
would be wrapped in black. and you know
no,
what
this
they-
Porn
is
Fairy.
this is
Oh.
even crazier.
Oh, okay.
Because as young men, we would be trampsing through the woods.
Oh, yes, I know about these.
And
too.
I swear to you,
I would never want to touch one of those.
There was like,
Yeah, don't
you
go
know,
over that thing with a black light.
It was like literally covered with like palmetto fronds, and we were like, "What is this?" And untouched, unscathed,
I-
perfectly
Boobs.
pristine.
Somebody who was coming back later for
Maybe,
him, and
but
you
guess
guys
what?
found him. Yeah,
We fucked that up.
I know. I think that's what it always was because I used to be like, "There's no way another guy is being this selfless and leaving
You have to.
naked titties out there."
Every man has to pass the torch.
I mean, it seems like every man accidentally is what I'm saying did it. They don't. They didn't go.
Listen,
I'm going to
it's-
help this next young man.
At my
what they
age-
thought is, I don't want my wife to see this. I'm going to leave this here. I'll come back.
I'm
some other day.
getting in about 3 more years. I'm gonna take and go grab a stack and put them out in the woods and just walk away
You're a good man.
for the next generation.
Everybody
You're
has
good
a
man.
fucking
Of course, no
iPhone.
kids play in the woods
I know.
anymore.
It's like you're going to just find the homeless
They're all
bum back
allergic
there.
to fucking grass.
I know.
Bless them.
All right. Well, I know you were trying to wrap it up, and
No,
we all
it's
have to
fine.
pee, and we went down another. But we can always do this again.
Yeah, for sure. Please come
I'm
back.
sure I have a lot more stories. For you guys.
Hell yeah.
You're triggering all these thoughts. I was like, oh, I could do this as a joke.
Come
as a
back and bring
premise.
your doctor friend.
Dr. Anna Lepley. She's on tour a lot, though. That's the thing. She's like,
She
she's
doesn't want to come in here anyways. It's fine.
she may. You never know.
I mean, you know.
You never know.
I'll
I
make
mean,
her
but
ask for it.
she's big time though. You know?
I know.
She's big time.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
I'm kidding. I was not big time. When she came on my podcast, so she's just a good friend.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah.
I'd love to come back and sit down and hear more of your stories.
I mean,
for
if
sure.
Marshall was here, maybe one day you'll have me and Marshall back
That would be
together.
fun.
Because
Hell
then
yeah.
us playing
That would
off
be
of each
fun.
other. Because I let Marshall kind of get loose a little bit. Because
Yeah.
he's
He's a little funny guy.
yeah, well, he's very self-aware. I think he's hyper aware of what maybe people are perceiving
Mm-hmm.
of him. But like, I think being a comedian, you get used to telling yourself, "Fuck them." Like, who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you get over it. Like, it's still there. You're
Yeah.
still insecure about stuff, but you get over it. But Marshall's so talented. I want him to be as confident as he should be
He's
as
a
his
very,
friend.
very smart guy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I found him from my friend who does another podcast. It's called the Who Are You podcast.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know.
Shout
he
out,
did
he
that
just
one.
popped in.
Did
What
he really,
up?
Connor? What's up?
What up, dog?
It's like he knew I was going to say his name, his podcast name, right then.
What it do, dog?
Yeah, but he was on there, and I was like, and I listened to all his podcasts. You know, I love him and I support him. I try to, like, people that I know, I try to listen to all their. It's hard,
Oh yeah,
know, 'cause
it's a
there's
lot
so
of
many.
time too.
So
It's a lot
many.
of time to invest to like.
but it's easier to listen to them than it is to subscribe to an OnlyFans page. So I'm just saying, ladies,
That is
to
true.
all my friends, I love you, but I don't know. I can't subscribe to all their pages.
Yes.
You want to support your friends, but at any rate,
Are we talking about OnlyFans now, or are we talking about the podcast?
either way.
I say support the podcast. Give these women another. If they have a podcast, give them another revenue.
I'm gonna
where
ha-
they don't have to show their pussies, because eventually,
If they want to, let them do it.
no. But I mean, eventually it all goes.
South.
Yeah, but there's always somebody that's gonna want to look at our pussies. I don't know why.
100%.
I know it's so weird though. I have to remind myself that because when
I love roast beef.
When a guy actually, I don't have that, but when a guy, does like say something to me, I go, oh, I'm still alive. That's right. I'm still.
Viable.
Somebody finds me still
100%.
attractive.
Well, you don't have to be alive for some of these guys.
Nope.
I know that's true too. But
And not only
those
that-
aren't the guys I want. You see
Not
what I'm
only
saying?
that,
though?
but it's not always just about your pussy. I mean, you got feet,
Oh no, I hate my.
you
feet.
got ears, you got. I mean,
my feet are not an
whatever
option.
you if you just pick a weird spot on your body, there's,
that's
there's
true.
some group out there that goes.
Well, there's a smoking one too. People
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
like smoking, watching girls smoke. I was like, shit, I should have done that. Dude.
They do that down in Mexico, but with their pussies.
I'm sure all girls can do that with their pussies, dude.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. If you have strong enough Kegel muscles,
Hold on,
you
have you
can
tried
suck
this?
in shit.
Air?
No,
Really?
I have not put a fucking cigarette next to my cooch,
That
dude.
was uncalled for.
I don't like
Pat.
having tobacco breath, let alone coochie breath. Like coochie tobacco breath. What
now,
is
if
that?
it was a cigar, though, that would probably be cool.
I was gonna say, what if that was a candle scent? Like, you know,
Coochie's
because who
smoking-
was it?
smoky
Gwyneth
coochie
Paltrow
scent?
had
Was it-
her own fucking scent.
Guess you Tropic
Candle scent
Thunder.
of her pussy. Yeah,
What?
you didn't know about this?
No. Where do I buy one?
What is it called again? It's called
Drink booty sweat.
No, you guys don't remember what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, we'll have to talk about this the other day because
Yeah,
I think all of
save
us
it
have
for
to
the
piss
next
our
one.
pants, dude. All of us have to
We might
pee
need
so
a bid
bad.
for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
Gwyneth Paltrow came up with her own candle, and it's her pussy scent.
I did not know that Gwyneth Paltrow had that in her.
Yeah, she's.
I mean, a candle.
I
Hey-o.
don't know how they. I don't know how they extracted
Yeah.
the scent.
That's odd.
But I'm gonna be so mad if I
Well,
ever smell it and it smells like my coochie. I'm just gonna be like, that's impossible.
if Jelly Belly can make a jelly bean that tastes like fucking dirt, then
Oh,
they can
yeah.
make a candle smell like
yeah,
Gwyneth Paltrow's
100%. You're
vagina.
probably right. But how did they? What did she take a swab of her
I
coochie?
imagine they did. And there was some weirdo in there going,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
okay. All right, so this is what we need.
That we need more tang. There's not enough tang on this one.
Tang!
There's not enough tang on that. Add some tang.
Oh, God.
Add some tang. That taint isn't always clean. You know what I'm saying? Add some tang to it. Anyway, all right.
Well, take us out of here, Patty. Guys, thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much
Thank you
for
guys for
coming and
having
hanging
me.
out with me.
Appreciate you guys.
Go to her page right fucking now and follow it, and then go to her open mics whenever she posts about them.
Yeah, and showcases too.
Fuck yeah, showcases. hopefully there'll be some on the weekends because I'm definitely going to come to those.
Okay. Yeah, there is. It's
Keep
plenty
me
of time.
abreast of that situation.
All right.
No pun intended. I love you guys. I'll see you next week. See you.